Hello, and thank you for joining us for Scarred Lands Purge of the Serpentholds. This is Season 1, Episode 19, and I'm calling it Without a Plan. Maybe they have a plan, but I kind of feel like they never have a plan, so I feel like it's accurate no matter what. I'm Corinne of Roll the Roll. I'm known as Manic Pixie Girl on Twitter. I hope everyone watching has been washing their hands and maintaining social distance if they can. Before we jump into the recap, I have a few announcements I'd like to make, as usual. Firstly, I would like to thank Ryan at Similcray on Twitter for that theme song that you would have just heard. He created that, and I'm linking him in the chat right now. If you need a theme song or if you need some music, he does great work. And let's see. I'd also like to thank the Onyx Path for inviting us to run this show. If you haven't picked up the Scarred Lands Player's Guide yet, you can get it via PDF from Drive-Thru RPG or in print from Indie Press Revolution. Linking those in chat. And during the game, we're also raising money for the Trevor Project today. The mission of the Trevor Project is to end suicide among gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning young people. The organization works to fulfill this mission through 4 strategies. 1, they provide crisis counseling to LGBTQ young people thinking of suicide. 2, they offer resources, supportive counseling, and a sense of community to LGBTQ young people to reduce the risk that they become suicidal. 3, they educate young people and adults who interact with young people on LGBTQ competent suicide prevention, risk detection, and response. And finally, 4, they advocate for law and policies that will reduce suicide among LGBTQ young people. So type !Trevor to donate to this great cause. I hear there are incentives and prizes for those who donate, some of which can affect this game. So if you donate money, which is just to a good cause anyways, you can also, maybe give me advantage, or maybe give the players advantage. I'm sure they prefer if they got advantage, but, that's up to how the money goes. So I'll now clear the floor for my players. So say who you are, say what you do, and who you'll be playing. We'll start with Hiromi today.
Hi, I'm Hiromi. I play Zasa. She is an Atsathi wizard. She has some fun focus issues, and sometimes that means that she pays a lot of attention to things. As you can probably tell, Atsathi are snake people, so I am playing a snake girl.
Sometimes you just gotta be a snake girl. Alrighty. I just started some dramatic music, but that doesn't mean anything. Candy, you're up.
Hi, I'm Candy. I play Kai Thorncraft, the itty bitty tin can or halfling paladin, who probably doesn't have many more secrets, I don't think. I guess we'll see.
Did we finally run out of secrets for Kai?
Possibly. Quite possibly.
Well, now you just need to get more secrets. Work on that.
I will.
All right, Megan, you're up.
All right, I will mute us. Okay. Hi, my name is Megan. For your viewing pleasure today, I'll be playing Caravan. She's a good girl. Kind of not super smart, but she tries her best. She is a bloodstained Triton warlock. She is like if Ariel actually did come out of the sea and live a life free from every man, just doing her own thing. She likes butts. Also, the Texas Rangers are playing right now. I'm playing this game instead of watching my sports. That should tell you how much I love all of you. But please send good vibes to my dear, sweet baseball boys. Thank you.
We will send the Texas Rangers some good vibes for these baseball boys.
Thank you.
Do they have nice butts?
Oh, yeah. That's like the main reason you watch sports is to see the butts.
I mean, we know that's true of the Ass League, for the very least. All right, Rune.
Hello, I am Rune. I do art things across the internet. I will be playing For Your Misery, my bard, Marigold. He's going through some things. He's not wearing his flower. He changed his eye makeup, and his hair is straight. Business ears on today, folks.
Oh, Marigold is getting down to business. All right, Shawnee, last but not least.
I'm Shawnee of Showcat Cosplay, and I'll be playing Shaho, who learned a very important lesson to always take your bonus action.
Mood.
I mean, I think it's a lesson we all need to learn in life. You know, proper time management, always taking your bonus action. I think those are basically the same thing. All right. So we are here. We're ready to rumble. Business ears are on for all of us, I think. What do you remember happening last week? Anybody can sum this up. What are the things that happened?
There was
The
a
most
tree in
im-
my head.
The most important thing that happened is one got away.
Yep.
One got away, and I think we will reap the consequences of that phrase today.
That
And
motherfucker.
I am scared. We got attacked by little tree demon imps.
The witch totems.
Totems.
Uh-huh.
Oof.
The
Those were
undying witch totems.
Yes.
They turn invisible if they're not actively attacking you. They're hell. They're small hell.
Oh, and we are covered head to toe
In glitter.
glitter.
Yep,
Our
yep.
only defense was
Sorry.
to glitter ourselves.
I think all of you are glittered right now. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
I think every
Yeah.
single one of you got glittered.
Yep.
And
We
that
can't even-
was friendly fire glitter. Just
Sorry.
to be clear.
Yeah.
It was helpful. It was helpful glitter.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marigold.
Was it really though?
It highlighted like 2 of them, right?
It helped at least once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Punch off on this stupid shit. It's stupid, but I'm gonna do it.
I mean, if I give you proficiency in glitter, you've got to use it.
At some point, yes.
Them's the rules.
That's the rules. That's the way it goes. All right. So, yeah, basically what happened is that you went into the stricken forest. And when you're in the stricken forest, you encountered a very large tree person. This forest was alive, essentially. And you met Elsuin, who was kind of the guardian of the forest. And he let you pass after you spoke about, the good you've been doing in the world. Proved to him, basically, that you're not... that you weren't there to hurt the forest. That did come as with some mental strain to Marigold. But on the whole, you all passed without taking damage. But as you were leaving, you were spotted by some witch totems, who were sent by, you can only assume, your enemies, to scope you out. One of them did manage to get away. It was a close thing. But it was just out of reach. And now it's gone who knows where to tell who knows who knows what. Good luck with that. But that's basically where we leave off. You are able to continue out of the forest. You see it is in sight. And you can keep going on your journey to get to the Haggard Hills, where you received word from January that there's probably another piece there.
Before we jump back in character, I do want to say one of the things you pointed out where Marigold took some mental damage, but as a whole we were fine. That happens a lot. We stand around, watch Marigold get a nosebleed, and then nod and go about our day.
Not my fault. I'm the only person who can talk to people telepathically.
Yeah, Marigold gets nosebleeds a lot. Maybe he should, what helps nosebleeds? Is it like taking more iron? Or...
Maybe not looking through the eyes of dead people.
That's probably it. That's probably it.
No, let's just get him a humidifier. I'm sure it's just
They don't
to
help.
dry out. Slap a band-aid on that and move on.
Yes,
oh,
I mean, witness people's violent ends and not get a nosebleed.
and then one of the
Sure.
other things that's going on is that January, Marigold's former flame, he wasn't captured, but your enemies, or at least to your knowledge, he wasn't captured. Your enemies know about him, know that he sent a message. They tried to kill him, but he got away. And you don't know where he is right now, but you have sent word to him that he should try and get to safety. You've provided some places that he could go to be kept safe. So you sent that message off with Spike last week. Or no, correction, you sent it off with Mary, the bird. You thought about sending it with Spike. So, yeah, that is a message that was sent, and who knows how it'll turn out. All right, the floor is yours. You know what happened last week. Hopefully, you're able to leave the forest if you like, or you can just not do it. Whatever. Just stay here forever. Probably fine.
Oh,
Right.
Well, we were
Yep.
just passing through anyway, right?
You worry.
Invisible witch totems. Sure. Because this day couldn't get any worse.
Well,
At this
here's the
point-
question. Oh, go ahead, Shaw.
I was just gonna say at this point we should just keep moving. It's seen us. It's gone. We should book it.
I just think it's a little stick, and what's the little stick gonna do? Go get its other little stick friends and come after us in a little kindling tribe? I'm not that worried.
No, that's exactly what will happen, except it'll probably bring back all sorts of eldritch horrors out of the forest. I don't know what this voice is. Hang on, I've lost Marigold's voice. It's been a minute.
It's all that dairy that you
Because I had some yogurt before the stream and it's all fucked now. So.
Oh, what's the keyword?
Darling.
Darling, there it is, sorry.
Uh-huh.
No,
I
darling,
just
that
think-
is what you get me. Yeah?
I just think if they're gonna come after us, they all seem like they're a bunch of tree people, and if we're out of the woods, we can just set them on fire. So it's just
Whoa!
better.
Don't say the fire word in the sacred forest.
That's why I want to get out of the sacred forest, so we can set them on.
All right, let's go.
This is my life. These are my choices. You're all covered in glitter. Oh, goodness.
Another reason to probably just keep moving. We've got no shot at camouflaging or being stealthy right now.
We're
Yeah.
gonna leave a
That's gonna
trail.
be very hard. I know, yeah.
You hell of a
We're like
trail.
fabulous snails. Trail.
No, God. Okay, we're here today, aren't we?
I know it's been traumatic, everyone, but we have to keep it together.
Being covered in glitter is kind of fascinating, really.
You
If I had more time, I would investigate this further. But instead, I guess I'll see if I can find any tracks of the creature, so that
Oh.
we can know where they're coming from.
Did I hit that one with glitter?
I
don't think so.
Son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
I don't think so.
Also, I'm not rolling for it because I know their stats, so I know I'm gonna fail.
Yeah. So you do, Sasa, you do try looking for the witch totem, but it is gone. It has disappeared into the forest or out of the forest. At this point, you really don't know. Basically, as soon as it was out of sight, it was invisible again. I mean, when you're looking for a stick in a forest, if you're trying to find a specific stick, you're probably not going to find it.
They seem to,
Zasa, I've heard about these creatures that sparkle in the sunlight,
Mhm.
and that's kind of what you look like right now. I think they were
I
called
think.
Twilight vampires. Like a special subsect of vampires? I don't know.
Do-
Does that sound familiar at all?
Do they consume twilight?
Maybe. I don't know a lot about them. You're the smart one. But maybe that's what you were thinking of? You said it was
Maybe.
fascinating?
I mean, there's a form of eldritch energy that some people call twilight, and so if these creatures drain that form of energy, then that would follow.
Oh.
I don't know why they would glitter. Wait, yes, I do. because they're pulling the essence of the stars out. That makes perfect sense.
That sounds really cool and romantic.
No, it's a terrible stereotype that perverts. I'm just going to keep walking.
Okay, I guess Marigold's gonna
Walk.
scout for us.
He stops through the brush, mumbling something about terrible writing and perpetuating horrible stereotypes that are harmful to people who freaking perpetuate them and freaking bad writing. Fucking.
As Marigold stomps away, you exit the stricken forest
Ruined
pretty
views.
easily. Pretty easily. The trees have been told to let you pass. They're letting you go, and you get out into what seems to be the Haggard Hills. Let me. Oh, it would help if I grabbed your tokens, wouldn't it? Do.
Why do we need tokens, Corinne?
No reason. You know, just for dramatic effect. Grab
This ain't TNC. We don't need drum.
All
These
right.
hills do look tired.
Do they have tired eyes? The hills have tired eyes.
The hills are dead.
That's a great song.
I think I lost one outside of the side of here, so let me just go back into the forest. Who am I missing?
Yeah, where's Fancy?
Yeah, I'm getting fancy.
Fancy.
I'm getting fancy and Miss Lizard. There's actually two of them now because they're there. They're just off screen. They got pasted a little bit too late. Oh, okay, just fancy. Looks like Miss Lizard came back. Okay, so
Has duplicated.
okay.
No, I was trying to be
There we
helpful and pulling her in.
Okay. So I think everybody's here. Is everybody here?
Yes.
Okay. Arrange yourselves how you would be.
Is Marigold truly angrily stomping off in the front?
I'll
Yes,
Take the
he's read
rears.
those books. And he lost a bet, and he's
make
mad
sure
about it.
nobody's- Make sure nobody's following us.
I had to read every single fucking one of them. Never ever make a bet.
All right. So is this what we're looking at? We have Shaho and Komodo up front, along with Marigold and Menaluin, and then everybody else kind of bringing up the rear.
Mhm.
Okay. Chat, you won't get to see the map just yet because I don't want to give away any surprises. But we are gonna get some exposition.
Oh my god, I can wiggle my ears. Sorry.
So you exit into the Haggard Hills. You've made it. You got through the stricken forest, and you don't really see the enemies that you were trying to avoid around here. You probably were faster than them, as you thought, because they had to go all the way around the forest instead of just cutting straight through. Unlike many other parts of the Kelder foothills, the Haggard Hills are largely inhospitable, and they look like it. You find yourself in a barren land, much like the perforated plains. Some plant and wildlife seem to be returning to the area, but the sun-baked foothills are dry beneath your feet. The sun has begun to set, and night will soon fall. I'd like everybody to roll a perception check for me.
Is this based on sight or hearing?
Oh,
Boop, 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 boop.
This
Oof.
would be,
Yikes.
I guess, sight and hearing. So if you want to say hearing in particular, you could roll with advantage.
It's a 15, so I'll take it.
Okay. Oh, so looks like really only Zasa and Marigold know what's going on here. I mean, not that there's anything going on. Zaza and Marigold, you feel as if you're being watched on all sides.
Of course we are.
And Marigold in particular, because it's sound for you, you hear like the rustling of fabric and the shuffling of feet. Whereas Zaza, you just get that like that prickly feeling on your skin. I'm not sure how that feels for an Asathi, but perhaps it's like tickling on your scales.
The scales on the back of your neck stand up.
And everybody else, you feel a little strange. You're not really sure what it means. You're just uncomfortable, and you're not really sure why. And almost eerie silence falls.
God damn it.
What'd you roll? Not sure what that's
It's Zasa was activating Vaughn's spyglass.
for. Oh, yes, okay.
And a 4 is legend lore, which is
Not gonna really help
the
you.
really the only spell on that I need to see something to cast it on.
Yeah, it's not really. Legend Lore's not gonna help you. You can see the Kelder foothills.
Why do I have
That's what you can see if you want to get some more lore about that.
So
Sasa will not turn that
Marigold-
down, but I don't know that we need it right now.
You can always
Pass
get
on
it later.
Marigolds. Get all of
Zasa,
his secrets.
No.
Zasa just gets like a textbook worth of information on the Kelder foothills, just like dropped into her head. You can always bring that information up later.
You should have done it on Kai.
But we know how many secrets she has left, if any.
It's like achievement unlocked. Kai's secret. 4 of 50. Marigold will slow his walk and stop stomping quite as dramatically. You'll see his ears kind of prick up a little bit because apparently I could do that in person. And he will just rest a hand on his rapier and kind of very quietly mumble out of the side of his mouth to Shahu, "Do you speak Elven? I don't remember."
I don't speak Elven.
Oh, I'll try it in Sylvan since you've been learning it from
Oh
me.
God.
Ooh.
And I'll speak it very quietly and with as plain wow words as plain syntax as possible. Don't panic, but I think we're actually being watched.
What do I roll to see if I understand?
Oh,
Shahud,
boy.
Just roll me a D100. I want to see how much of this you get, and I'm going to base that on the roll. Okay.
Oh no!
So, Marigold, what did you say exactly again?
Don't panic, but I think we're being watched.
You get panic and watched.
Okay.
But
I'm
Marigold,
gonna stop moving. but-
Marigold does not look panicked, but his hand is resting on his rapier.
Alright, well, I am panicked.
This was the actual opposite of what I wanted to happen. I don't help.
Sasa is going to message Caravan and Kai. I think there are bad things here. I mean, like, specifically alive that we can't see.
Oh no.
Alive bad things? She says loudly.
Damn it.
I'm really panicked and I'm looking for whatever I should be watching for, but I don't see anything.
I want to
Subtle,
look around.
guys.
I'm looking for alive bad things. So if I see like an undead, I'm ignoring it.
All right, you can roll me an investigation check.
Hey, I'm very good at these. Using my brains to piece together clues. That is definitely what Cameron does.
Caravan, you spot a rock, and it's a real dangerous looking rock. It's specifically this rock over here. It's just looking mighty shifty.
I
I
see.
think that rock is alive. Caravan spurs Fancy onward to investigate this rock.
Oh no.
And as you all sort of start to kind of break formation a little bit,
Son of a bitch.
Oh no.
from the surrounding hills, shapes kind of come into your line of vision. A group of manticora, different individuals on each side. Each of them are armed, some with bows, other with swords and daggers. Highly skilled, they seem to melt onto the landscape and bring their arms to bear with complete silence. Now, let me make them all visible for you.
Oh, good. Am I still emitting glitter?
No, you don't need to be emitting glitter. You can take that off, but you are still all covered in glitter.
Sorry, not sorry.
Gotta move all these.
Oh, they just.
There's
keep
a
coming.
lot. Can you stop?
All right. And boop. Alrighty. Chet, I don't know if you can see them quite yet. I think they're all a little bit on the edges of your vision, but Here, I'll move them over so they're a little bit more visible here. There we go. They are a little bit further away for argument's sake, but alrighty. Okay, so halt! You're trespassing in the lands of Helena the Storyteller. State your business. And the one who's speaking is the one who seems to be wearing the heaviest armor, which is this guy here. He's right next to Menaluin. Or at least, the closest.
I'm just gonna ready my bagpipes.
Who's taking the lead?
Does Zasa?
Not it.
Sorry, the name just went right out of my head.
Helena?
Elena.
Zasa, yeah, you and Shaho, you would both remember Helena as being the name of the Manticora that you had read about earlier. The one who was in the Haggard Hills and was building like a city.
Oh, okay. I still don't want to talk first.
Marigold's throwing himself a pity party and has just readied his bagpipes and is just waiting.
And
Hi. Okay. So, we're on our way to disrupt a group of followers of Mormo. You might remember her because she was responsible for the disruption and overthrow of a great many things. And from what we understand, these followers are intent on bringing Mormo back to life, or at least something in that general ballpark, which would mean disrupting your society and probably going to war with you. We're not saying that you necessarily need to help, but if you let us through, it would be beneficial to you in the long run.
You see the Manticore seems to be the captain, the one who spoke to you. He kind of appraises you all. He has his hand on his sword, and all the archers have their bows at the ready. You see that lower beside where Shaho and Komodo are, there are two. They seem to kind of be dressed as scouts, but although they don't have bows out, they do have the Manticore clawed gauntlets. And the captain's like, so you're passing through to try and stop Mormo. Is that what you're saying? Or at least tangentially.
No, we're going to throw a party in the desert. Yes, of course. Why would we lie?
People have many reasons to lie.
Well,
Do
we're
people
sure-
covered in glitter lie?
That is the weird part, yes. I'm not quite certain what you're trying to do tactically here.
We're not trying to be subtle. We're just trying to save the world.
That's a quote.
All right. And you see one of the archers kind of come over and whisper into his ear. He kind of pauses. He's like, all right. We trust you mean us no ill will. And night is drawing near, as you can tell. We can't just let you go wandering around this area right now, not without a proper vetting. It would be safer to do that vetting inside our walls instead of in the wild. Will you come back with us?
Not to be rude, actually, but we're sort of in a hurry.
And you plan to travel in these foothills at night?
We've done dumber things, frankly.
Yeah, what? Like it's hard?
How far away is it?
Our village isn't far from here, and he kind of points a little bit vaguely. It's not like doesn't want to give you the exact location, but it's you see in the distance, like kind of behind some hills, that there is some light emanating. You can imagine that's probably from torches, campfires, whatever it is they have going over there.
So we saw the route for going around. About how much time frame was that? Since they're going,
Yeah.
then yeah.
So let's look at the map. Gotta look at the map. Do, 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 do.
We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from.
Okay, so looking at the map, you basically took this route here, cutting through, like kind of where this R is, all the way through, and it took you about a day, to just go straight through. The enemies, the party that you saw, oh yeah, so like you could have, yeah, kind of like, whoops, that's a good way to show it. Where's my little thingy? Here it is. Yeah, so kind of like from the R to like this T kind of area, like around here. You didn't go as far as the Obsidian Pyre. You're not going through that area, but you went,
so
yeah,
that
like
way.
this.
Okay.
You went like this. Whereas the other party would have had to go like this and all the way around and then come back down. And they would have had to go through the Tralvaret Trench, which would add time, because they'd have to find a way across or go down into it. So you think that you have, it took you about a day to get how far you got. You're thinking it's going to take them 2 to 3 days, depending on how they cross that trench. If they find a way to go over it, 2 days. If they have to go down through it, 3 days.
So we should do the rest with them, I think, because it would be beneficial for us to go into there well rested to reclaim the piece. But we really couldn't spare more than resting and leaving in the morning. So would the vetting process work within that time frame?
The captain speaks up again. It won't take long. We need to bring you to our leader, have you speak to Helena. She likes to know about the people who come through our area, anybody who could be a threat or an ally. But if you pass, if she finds no reason to waylay you, you would be able to leave again in the morning, once the sun rose and we felt it was safe for you to be out in the wilds.
I think we should
Very
do
kind
it.
of you.
Yeah.
No,
Not to mention we can share information about people who are actual threats.
that's true.
coming.
Yeah.
Alright.
And they're not far, like, off the path or anything, so I think we'll...
No, I think that's a good idea, actually.
We accept your offer.
He kind of takes a deep bow. I'm pleased to hear it. Had you not accepted, we would have had to bring you by force. I appreciate not having to do that.
Kind of figured that's what it would have been.
All right, so I don't. Oh,
Someone gave the DM advantage.
the DM has advantage.
Betrayed
Yes.
by Forge.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna love that later.
Did someone give you a villain point?
Betrayal.
I got a villain point.
Awesome. Can I be selfish and show off my farm stand goods on your stream?
If
Because
you,
I
if
went to
you,
farm stand.
yeah, if you want to, we're gonna get to find out about a farm stand.
So first I got us fresh baked bread that was literally warm out of the oven when I grabbed it.
Nice.
Tomatoes and corn, which I'm not really going to show off. I am going to show off the shit ton of basil my mom gave
I can
me.
smell it from here.
Like,
Here's
look at this.
it's all basil.
Like, it's just a
That's
huge
an
bag
obscene
of
amount
freaking
of
giant
basil.
That's a lot of basil.
And
yeah.
basil
And then
salad.
there's cucumbers and hot peppers in there.
My goodness.
And for my lovely wife, the day after our anniversary, the farm stand had
My favorite
homemade lemon poppy
muffins.
seed
Thank
muffins.
you.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. It was our 4-year anniversary yesterday.
So the bread is going to be
Aw.
chopped and toasted. All that basil is going to be
Ooh.
pesto to go with the corn. So for dinner, I've got farm fresh tomatoes, farm fresh corn, farm fresh pesto, and then those
well, now
bison
you're just making me
ribeyes.
hungry and everybody
This
on the
is
stream hungry.
Very
Right?
cool
Flexing on the
to
other
describe dinner to a
Okay.
pregnant woman. I just want to
Yeah,
throw that
you're-
out there,
You're
Bevan.
describing dinner to Megan, a pregnant woman, and it's very rude.
Oh, Megan, I forgot you were pregnant. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, now that we've had
I will
Bevan's cooking
give
corner,
us our address, and I'll like Post me.
Please come to Dallas and cook for me, Bevan. Thank you.
She wants you to come to Dallas and cook for her.
Okay, when this is all over and we've all had our jabs, I'll go to Dallas and cook for you.
Nice.
All right. Okay, so now that Bevan's cooking corner's over, okay, so I don't have a map for you all for the encampment itself, but I do have words for you.
Words.
Yeah, words.
We're gonna have words.
Usually when you have words for somebody, that's not good.
Mine are good words.
Okay.
I mean, hopefully, I hope you like them.
Do they come in the form of the term long rest?
They do.
Eventful.
Okay, here it is. Here's the song.
It's actually long arrest. Long rest is in it, but we're going to prison.
Yes.
Right.
You're being arrested by this group of Manticora. After agreeing to accompany the Manticora, you are led to a sprawling encampment. Although much of it still consists of tents and temporary buildings, more permanent structures are being built. Land has been fertilized and set aside for farming, and a sturdy, well-guarded wall surrounds the community. You are led to a large tent in the center of the encampment. Although guards are posted outside, members of the community seem to be able to enter and leave as they please. The Manticora leading you speaks to the guards softly, before the tent opening is pulled aside to let you pass. Inside, you see a well-lit but modestly furnished office-like area. A large desk is in the center of the space, and the walls are lined with half-full shelves of books. At the desk sits a Manticora in a dark robe. Her body and face are covered in golden fur, but her features are less feline than the average Manticora. Strangely, she has large tusks protruding from her upper lip, much like a saber-toothed tiger. At your entrance, she looks up, raising her brow ridge quizzically. Visitors! How unexpected. Take a seat, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
You notice that there are enough places for you all to sit, but some are stools, other are chairs, and some are cushions. It's kind of haphazard. You can tell that they don't really have a lot of, available furniture in this area.
I'm gonna curl up on a cushion.
Yeah, I'll take a cushion.
Caravan's going to lean over to Zasa. If you arm someone into coming over and basically kidnap them and take them hostage, are they still visitors?
Well, actually, in Arne, the term for visitor is visitori, and it does actually can mean hostage as well. So, depends on the culture, I suppose.
Okay, this is just a cultural difference, and she'll happily go sit down.
I'm talking at my hair.
The woman laughs, and she, kind of like writes a few things down in the book that's in front of her, and then closes it, or at least, not all the way. She has something wedged in it so that the top, so it can dry. But she closes it so it's not open, but it's not rubbing the ink at it either way. Scared me.
Yeah, she just ripped the plants out of the ground for me. She didn't even pick it. She's just like, here.
Well, you just touched me with it. I was very surprised. Anyway.
Suddenly basil.
She's like, I do apologize for the way you were brought. We've been a bit on edge.
Is there a reason why?
Yeah, why are you living on the edge?
Well, sometimes you just gotta live on the edge. There have been some unsavory individuals in the hills, and more so than usual. It's a dangerous area, but it's been more active than usual.
Could you tell us
any of
more?
them have match the following descriptions? And Zasa goes down her notepad.
Is this just descriptions of the various,
the group that we watched.
That we hid from.
That we hid from. And
Yeah.
that are going around.
She kind of thinks for a minute. She actually goes back and references some reports beside her. She's like, not quite, but similar. We've had quite a few Asathi, who didn't mean well, unlike yourself. We had there were some spellcasters of some sort, and just more people in the hills than usual. But not that group you described. No, we haven't seen them yet.
Well, they're on the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. It's not what I wanted to hear. All right. Well, we get ahead of ourselves. My name is Helena, and you're in Odyssey, where all you need is a story and an open mind to be welcome. I'm sure you have questions, as I have many for you. Would you like a drink?
As long as it's not poisoned.
I don't think they'd poison us.
We don't use poison around here unless we absolutely have to.
Ooh.
Well, Zasa has told me that technically alcohol is a poison.
It's true, it is.
I suppose that is true. Very astute. Well, we do enjoy a bit of that poison.
Sorry.
Some water would be nice.
Water, of course. She gestures to a nearby decanter that is filled with wine, and then there is also some water. She starts pouring glasses for anybody who asks. She gets some wine for herself, and would happily offer it to anybody else who wants some.
Marigold.
I don't
take
suppose
wine.
you
I'll
have.
take some wine.
Yeah.
I don't suppose
Also-
you have any cactus juice, do you? I've been informed that it's the quenchiest.
Oh my god.
Cactus juice.
It'll quench you.
I don't think we have any cactuses in the area, but it might be something we can cultivate in the future if you say it's really that good.
I haven't experienced it directly, but people who've had it rave.
Yes, brave as in, I think, maybe lose their minds a little bit. I've heard it's a terrible hallucinogen.
Oh. Well, that might have other uses then. And she turns to like another book and opens it and writes that down, doing the same thing where she has something holding it open but closing it most of the way so that the ink can dry without her leaving the books just open all over the place.
Miss Helena, can I present you with a gift?
I hadn't expected one, but I wouldn't mind if you would like to.
I give her a little bit of my catnip.
Oh, we haven't even begun to grow any in our area yet. This is a very kind gift.
It was very enjoyable. I think you'd like it.
Well, I am certainly going to have a good night. Thank you.
Oh god.
If you'd like, I can try to sift it and see if there are any seeds in there.
That would be a wonderful idea. If we could cultivate from this, perhaps we can start our own business here, our own operation.
Didn't we just talk about no poisons? What happens?
It's not a poison. It's for the cats.
It's for the cats.
It's for the cats.
The catnip
But-
for the cats. That's all it is.
Uh-huh. While all this is happening, I take a book out of my my bag, and I kind of do what she's doing, where I just like write down a few things and then kind of close it a little bit.
Corinne tries to lean over and see if these are like story ideas for her upcoming romance novel.
It's for the cats. It's a romance novel for the cats.
Yes, the romance novel for the cats. Karen, if you would like to try and sneak a peek with this, I'd say roll investigation. You're trying to investigate the inside of this book.
Oh my gosh, is she working on the new book in the Perfect Match series? 16?
I think that's a pretty good
Yeah, it is.
roll.
It is.
Stage, what are you writing?
I am yes taking notes for a possible next book in the series.
Karen tries to contain her excitement and just looks a very strange face. She's just like,
Helena notices that you're writing, and she gets a big smile on her face. Her kind of like saber-tooth like tusks like look a little bit strange when she smiles. They kind of like go out in an awkward angle, just a little bit.
Cute.
A fellow writer.
Yes. Yeah.
She's famous, actually.
Oh, That's quite exciting. I'm one of the few who write around here, but that's actually become my goal. The Manticora aren't really known for settling down, but I wanted to change that. I wanted to set down roots and build a history.
You're doing a good job. I read a book about you.
Oh, is word getting around?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. It's what I needed. I need more to come here. I need more Manticora to come here. These books are our stories. They're our people. And, I track it down. I transcribe it myself. I send my teams out to gather information. One day, I hope Manticora far and wide will travel to Odyssey to tell their tales.
This would make a fantastic musical. But if you meet somebody named Mr. Mephistopheles, don't trust him.
I'll write that down, thank you.
No
Did
problem.
you have a bad run-in with him?
Oh yes, he's quite the swindler.
Ah, swindlers. Hate those types.
Me too.
And she turns around to even another book. Like you notice that her chair is kind of like on a swivel. And there's like a book stand behind her that she flips open another book and writes it down in. It seems she has a book for just about everything.
I feel like we've been here 5 minutes and we did a drug deal and started a book club.
He did 2 drug deals.
Very efficient.
May I offer you some glitter in this trying time?
I was meaning to ask, you're quite sparkly.
I just do that. These 4 souls got caught in the blast radius.
We're cosplaying as Twilight vampires.
No, we're not.
Well, I think you might want to wash that off before you head back out again. It's quite obvious.
It doesn't come out. You just have to wait, and you're going to be finding it for the next, I don't know, couple of years. Like, you've forgotten all about Marigold, and you'll think, oh no, Marigold, that bard, who was that fucking elf? Oh wait, there's glitter in this particular part of my armpit.
Yeah,
I remember
I can
glitter
already
now.
tell it's in all my crevices. It's just how it's gonna be.
You'll
Well,
be finding it for years.
I
It
do
won't
wish
come
you
out
luck
of
with
her.
that. Oh, please, I would offer a hand to shake or a hug, but not when I don't need my fur glittery, thank you.
What about a
It'll
tail bump?
probably happen anyway since we're like all in here. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll have something to remember you by. All right.
Glitter.
I feel there's a story here, a story about all of you. What's your tale? What brings you to the Haggard Hills beyond, being travelers, being adventurers, what have you?
Wait, if we give you our story, will you feed us and provide us with rations for when we leave?
I will.
You got a deal.
We often trade in stories here in Odyssey. A good tale can get you room and board, can get you supplies. Because how else am I going to pay people for their stories, besides just with coin, which we don't have much of?
Do you take songs in payment as well?
I could take a song. I have a book for that. And she spins around again and reaches into one of the bookshelves beside her and pulls out a book. And you see along the side, written in a very fine script, it says, like, songs, hymns, and other music. And it's, like, halfway filled with just various songs she's gotten from other travelers.
Marigold is very interested in this book.
If you'd like to borrow this for the night, feel free, as long as you return it. And
Really?
as long as I can get a song from you in return.
Of course, that's just how it works among bardic circles. Song and a story, eh?
Song and a
Will do.
story.
Oh, all right.
I feel like I've been tricked into going to a library.
We're not a library yet, but I'm certainly trying.
Then what's with all the books?
Well, they're all works in progress. And she points to a bookshelf that's like way on the far wall, and this one is not very full at all. It has maybe 10 volumes. Those are the completed ones over there. Everything else, still writing.
Do you know, actually, I'm part of a college of bards who might be very, very interested in your work here. I can pass on a message if you like.
I would appreciate that. The more bards I can get here, the more tales I can hear, the more I can expand.
Well, my college sort of specializes in dead people, but I know some people.
All right. Yes, I would appreciate it. So, what does bring you here? And she grabs another book. This one is about a quarter of the way full, but as she flips through pages, you see that the stories inside are longer. It looks like here she has logged different tales that travelers have told her.
Wait, let's have a group huddle first.
All right. Huddle it is.
Yep.
Feel free.
Can I do telepathic telephone with everybody, or is it just one person?
I think you can only do one person at a time.
Okay, cool.
But you could do each person individually. There's not like a recharge.
That sounds exhausting and my head already hurts.
Irvin's going in for an actual huddle. She's got arms around people.
Alright. Since I'm the tallest, I just like bring my arms around everyone.
Yes, it's like this.
Because you're all tiny.
And I just
You forget this!
and I
is
just
that
stand in the
Miracle's-
center looking up at everybody.
Miracle's 6.5 feet tall. And he's got the wingspan to go with it, so it's
Miracle will squat. For
Right,
fuck's sake.
sorry.
Well, no, 'cause the robe covers us, so it's like.
Yeah, no, it's the spark. It's this thing. It's the cloak.
He does
and
this.
Just kind of just goes
Looks down.
like look like a mama bird. With a little There's a small poof of glitter.
So just before you do your huddle, I do want to say, I think we've had a couple donations, so I'd like to thank everybody for those donations.
Thank
you.
I know
We
we
have
had.
2 party advantages.
Wow, okay.
Storyteller
Yes.
advantage.
Because I know Bonsai donated. Who else donated in here? I want to give a shout out.
Forge balanced the
donated?
scales.
Yeah.
Okay,
Uh-huh,
Forge
yeah.
balanced the scales. All right.
Pulled a Thanos, kept it perfectly balanced. Is all.
All
things
right.
should be.
So thank you so much, Forge and Bonsai. It's for a great cause. We appreciate it. All
Thank
right.
you.
you.
Have your huddle.
So obviously there's some things that are just too personal for us to share in our stories, but like we should make sure they know that like some of the information people might try to kill them for it.
Oh right, yeah.
They're like, we can give you our story, but don't let anyone know you have it yet, because Mormo's followers may like fuck your shit up.
Well, maybe then we don't give them that story. Maybe we give them the fun stories. Maybe we just tell them about Narcissa and Ned.
We do have a lot of fun stories. We have so many.
Let's tell them about Jimothy.
No, you know what? We're all hunting. We're hunting Jimothy across the desert. The mysterious Jimothy.
Well, that's what Caravan really believes.
I really can't lie that well. I can lie pretty well, but I can't lie that well. But we probably should just tell them the truth. I know that
Yeah.
sounds weird coming
I
from
don't
me,
want to
but
lie.
Because it's a good warning for them if people are going to be coming to their
I
area.
mean, if Mormo's
So.
followers are going to come tracking through here, I'd rather them be prepared.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also,
Well, that's what I mean.
What about
Just let
our,
them know that.
What, Zelda? Sorry. I
Also,
hunched
what
down
about
to
our
listen to
Manticora friends? They might be looking for someplace safer to live, and this might qualify.
Oh,
Yeah.
your boyfriend. I point
Yeah.
at Shadow.
Charlotte's boyfriend.
Uh,
A little bit of revenge, sorry. I know. I just wanted to see you blush, but you're a Manticora, so it's sort of your fur just sort
Yeah.
of prickles.
Can't really see.
The reaction was good enough.
Oh, your voice got real high.
I'm just gonna dip further into the cloak.
Maybe we just tell them about Shaho's boyfriend and then they can come live here.
Let's just tell them about your girlfriends.
I mean, I offered that. And I was told it was something about lying.
No, that's
No, no.
honest. You
No,
do
no, no,
have.
no, no.
No, it's not. Yeah.
like Marigol's just like covering with the glittery cloak, and there's just this shadow covers. It just looks so fucking weird from the outside.
You notice that Helena is like leaning back in her chair, like she's not trying to listen in. She's just like staring at you all, like every now and then, like, and then going back to her book, like, this is weird.
Look,
Covered in glitter.
I mean,
why
we
don't
could-
Zarsa, you're smart. What do we admit? What would keep them safe but keep them informed?
What's their informed consent?
The safe word.
What's their safe word?
Catnip.
Safe word is the end. They're storytellers. No.
That's clever, actually.
That is very clever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think giving them as much information about our issue with Mormo, not necessarily with our suspicions about Maroon,
Moron?
but Morin says, like
Moron?
we don't have Cena's boss. We don't have enough information to definitively cast her as a bad actor here, but she is very suspicious and she's probably evil.
I don't think we have to get that personal. They don't
Well,
have
that's
to
we
what
just-
I mean. We don't have to.
Do we just tell her about Gregor and Jeff?
maybe not their names or where they live, but I definitely think you should tell everyone how you played with a cat. A very big tentally cat.
That was not a cat.
You didn't try to give it catnip, so we'll never know.
The cat, that was like the opposite of a cat. Whatever a cat actually is, it's not a cat.
I really think that's not the point of the discussion right now, Marigold, and you need to stay on track.
You know what? Tell them whatever you like. I'm just a bard, and I'm gonna stalk off for the fire. Poof! Cloud of glitter. You're all covered. You're all covered in glitter again.
I don't know. If it were my choice, I don't want to tell them anything because I don't think it's any of their business. And they're just going to write it in these books. And sorry, Zasa, but I don't trust them because you don't know who's going to read them. And you don't know what they're going to say.
Change the names to to protect those who need protecting.
Grigor and
those
Doff?
and those who don't, we tell them their names.
Well, the basic story of why we're here is simple enough, and the only people who we would worry about getting their hands on the information already know because they're the ones we're hunting / hunting us. So I think that part's safe.
Okay.
Well, who wants to talk?
No.
Let's ask her to pick whose story or part of the story she wants to hear first.
Oh god.
Okay.
Uh,
Everyone will get up and go back to her seat and sit
Yeah.
down.
Helena, like, as you all, like, come back to your seats, she's, like, just sipping from her wine, like, have you come to a consensus?
I think so.
We've decided we're not making a decision and we're making you decide who talks.
Oh, all right, an interesting idea. I suppose that does kind of bring up the very concept of a narrator and how reliable they are. Yes, I like that. All right. First, I would like to hear from Shaho.
Okay. So, I wanted to travel because I was with my Manacora family, but I wanted to become stronger, so I traveled a lot. And while I was traveling, I have occasionally seen Marigold perform, so then I saw Marigold, and I finally worked up the courage to go speak to him, and then we sat at a table, and there's some drinking, and a fight broke out. There's this very beautiful elf lady, and these Asathi Mormo followers were harassing her, and we were like, no, don't harass her. And they were like, we're gonna fight you. And we're like, fine. And then we fought in the bar, and that was cool. And then we got taken on a quest.
So you stumbled into being heroes.
Yes.
Heroes.
That's an interesting beginning to a tale, certainly. So, you decided to step up to help someone you didn't know, and you fought off some ne'er-do-wells, and then after that was said and done, you were asked to do more. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And is that still the quest you're on now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And Kai, can you tell me more about this quest? From a fellow writer, a writer to a writer.
Well, this overarching quest is kind of made up of smaller quests. We have run into a couple of different things that you know, I don't think we were expecting. We met some people, some not so good people, and some awesome people as well for this quest. But I believe that we overall are doing good, and we would like to finish what we started.
Trying to do good. That's important, especially when, the land itself seems to be trying to fight against that. It's what we're doing here, trying to make a home out of places less hospitable. But when you've got nowhere else to go, you make do with what you have. And sometimes that means going out on an adventure. Interesting. All right. Zasa, you seem to know many things. What do you what do you think of this quest that you're on?
I think this quest is probably the most important thing that I've ever been a part of, and I'm really not sure why I'm a part of it, other than I seem to know things. But the quest itself is about keeping the world safe from the Mormo cultists. It's about keeping Mormo herself from returning, and even if bringing her back isn't possible, the cultists have been doing truly awful things, and they'll fight anyone, they'll curse the land, they're just bad. But the quests that we've taken, we've made sure that just because somebody looks bad, we don't judge them off of that. We've encountered at least 3 people who could be called monsters from someone else's perspective, but when we got to know them, they were very nice and very polite. And I'm afraid that for narrative purposes, you'll have to put a little question mark there, because I don't have permission to tell you who they are or where they are. But just know that some people who look like monsters, they're not. They're really quite nice, and they're working for the good of the land. And some people who look very nice are quite terrible, which is literally true in the case of the hag. Why is she not in my notes?
Riasa.
Riasa. Riasa the hag, who generally appears as a very nice elfin lady. Which I should actually explicitly tell you, she has, at least on one occasion, pretended to be a nice elven lady who was tied up and captured. But no, she's actually a quite powerful hag, and if you can see through illusions, then it would be much to your benefit in that situation.
You might come through here.
Fascinating and also very, very frightening. I think the story that you tell, Zasa, is an important one, of how sometimes people who least expect it need to step up to do what's right, to stop bad things from happening to the people who don't deserve it, and how you can't always tell who's bad and who's good just by looking at them. Because someone, like you said, who looks like a monster might not be. And someone who looks kind and nice can be very well the opposite, as with like this Riasa woman. And she actually turns and writes that down on, it looks like the reports that she has, because that's like an obvious threat. So you say that she could be coming through this area.
She's explicitly stated that she will.
Oh, well, I will double our guards then. That's not something we want to have happen. And you said that she masquerades as just an average elven woman. Is that correct?
Yes, I can share my notes with you on this. And
I would appreciate that.
Describes the elven forms that she's taken.
And, she basically transfers your notes, like, takes them all down. And she's like, well, thank you, Zasa. But I feel there's still a little bit more of this story to tell. What about you? Caravan, was it?
Yeah, okay, so I'm not much of a storyteller. I'll give you two options.
All
You
right.
can either hear the creepiest thing that's happened or the most awesome thing that's happened.
Oh, that's a hard pick. Well, I think I'd like something awesome, a little bit uplifting. We have, enemies at the gates, as it were. Give me something good.
Okay, I am a huge fan of the All-Star Squatters League. Like, when I lived out in the water, it was kind of a whisper network just to figure out what the hell was going on. Like, you don't really get a lot of paper down there and stuff, to see the news. So when I got up here, whenever we have to go to the libraries, I always go to the newspaper peri sports section and stuff, and I get to look at the stats. And look, we made a little book, and she'll hold up her binder. And it just has like all of the pictures and the stats. And then we got to go to opening day tryouts, and Kai did really well. And they tried to sign her, but she's like, no, I've already got 15 jobs. And she just wasn't having it. And she's like too cool for everybody, honestly. And she betrayed us. But before that, it was really cool and awesome.
That sounds like quite the tale. I know you say you're not a storyteller, Caravan, but perhaps you're just thinking of stories as something too binary, too linear. Sports can be a story.
Do you want to hear the creepy thing too? Actually, I also just kind of want to tell you about it.
I mean, sure. I'll take any story you'll give me.
Okay, she will lean forward and start whispering loudly, conspiratorially. So Marigold's horse is actually a man in a zebra suit.
I'm sorry, what?
And listen, sometimes we wake up in the middle of the night and he just like writes help on the ground, and that's so fucking creepy and weird, and we're just like not dealing with it. We're not dealing with it. We're just riding around with this man horse.
Marigold, can you elaborate? Do you want to elaborate? This is a very strange story.
No.
Well, if you ever want to talk about it, I'm an open ear. I'm concerned about your man horse, is what I'm saying, but I'm not going to pry.
Man horse.
It's not the first time Marigold's had a man horse. Heck, yeah, never mind. I like your teeth, by the way.
All right, look. Say what you want about me and my horse, but stay away from Johnny.
I feel I'm missing something.
A lot of
Perhaps
context.
yes, some context. Perhaps overarching narrative here, some background, some history. But I do appreciate the compliments on my tusks. They used to get me quite a few stares. Well,
Because you had them decorated in a particularly interesting fashion.
no, they're just not quite usual upon a manticora, but I have thought about decorating them.
Would you like to try out colors?
Oh, I mean, if you're offering.
I can only change colors. It'll only last an hour, but we can try out a few colors and different patterns and looks.
Oh, we'll do that later. Yes, yes. Come see me after this discussion. We can have, like a little fashion show.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. And then, she finally goes back to Marigold. Well, is there any story you would like to tell? You don't have to.
I don't tell stories, I'm a singer.
Then, a song, perhaps?
It's a bit of a long one if you're really interested in my story, but it's actually stolen a bit from Arne. Then nobody really speaks it anymore. It is long, though, and vague.
I think there is merit in a long and vague story.
Right. If you guys don't mind a little bit of a longer song than usual.
Yeah, I'm good with it as long as everybody else is.
Mm-hmm.
Bard's gonna bard.
Bard's gonna bard. I just don't like to sing more than one verse of anything because it does take time and I feel like yeah. Oh, I just got wildly nervous. Give me a second. That's not normal. Not a day, guys. So, song in exchange for your story afterwards, eh?
I feel that's completely fair, yes.
Do you know I've never performed for a crowd of Manticora before, but the first time's for everything. I had my mind invaded by a tree today. It's just been sort of a...
I feel that's certainly another story I'd like to hear someday. I would hope that you would all come back.
If I'm brave enough to tell it, but not yet.
Fair.
As for my story, it's a song, and it always is a song with me, so... Anybody here speak Arne? Anyone? No? Nobody speaks Arne? Delightful. I wish I were on yonder hill. 'Tis there I'd sit and cry my fill, until every tear would turn a mill. Iskodzie tu moim slan, Shulan, shul go sake shul go kyun, shul go darasake selilam, iskodzie tu inslan. I'll sell my spells, I'll sell every reel, I'll even sell my spinning wheel to buy myself a sword of steel. Iskodzie tu inslan. Shularun, shul go sakerage shul go kyun, shul go darasag selilam, iskodzie tu inslan. And I'll dye my white locks, I'll dye them red, and it's round the world I'll sing for my bread, until my parents would wish me dead. Iskodzie tu inslan, shul Shularun, shul go sakerage shul go kyun, shul go darasag seliram, iskodzie tu inslan. He sort of sinks back into himself and looks strangely withdrawn.
Caravan claps a lot.
Helena claps as well, and she seemed to like be like listening really intently, like as you were singing, and she's like, "That's quite the story. I know it must have given you a lot to give it to me. I would like to talk to you later. I would like to transcribe it if I can."
Absolutely. It's the language is a little difficult, but can I have some more of that wine, please?
You can. She
Thank you.
pours you a very full glass.
Miracle just disappears into it.
And fair is fair. I said I would give my story in return. I am Helena, as I've said before, but I wasn't always known by that name. The name I've used before is long gone, but Helena isn't now. I was from a group of manticore like any other. We traveled. We were, kind of on the outskirts of society. Our stories were only those that were spoken aloud, never written. It was oral tradition. And when I was young, I found a book. And that book was honestly one of the first I'd ever seen. We traveled so much, we didn't carry much with us. We had hardly whatever was on our backs. And when I found this book in the sand, I knew it was something special. Now it's kind of silly. It was actually just a cookbook. But I set out to read it. I wanted to know what it said. I wanted my stories to be written down, my stories to be able to be read and written down, and I wanted someone who'd never met me, to be able to hear my story. And once I learned to read that book, I realized that I could do that. I could write anything down, and I could send it wherever I liked, and then someone who'd never met me will have read my words. It was kind of freeing. It made me realize that I didn't want to... I guess I wanted to be known. I didn't want to be just another traveler. I didn't want to be, just another ranger, just another fighter, or whatever. I wanted people to be able to read what I thought and read the stories of others as well, because it's kind of silly, but people won't know what you're doing unless somebody writes it down, and there's not going to be a history of the things that are done unless there's somebody to write it. So I made it my goal to do that, to write it, to write the story of the Manticora. And it might seem a little strange for that to be coming from me, somebody who's only even half Manticora. But, our stories are ones that I think everybody should have. And I should hope that one day this city will be massive, and people come and go and give their stories so they can be written down. And I hope that other Manticora will come and learn the art of record keeping, and so that our history can become a thing that's written instead of just said. And I suppose that's my story. I mean, there's a lot that happened in between, that first cookbook I read and learning to write, but those are kind of the highlights, as it were.
Might I share something?
Yes.
Doesn't seem strange at all. That's not strange whatsoever. I'll tell you something the first bard I ever met told me. It's a little sad, but I think it's important, and I think it would do you some good to hear it. We are, every single one of us on this world, alone. We come into it alone. We leave it alone. Nobody can ever experience the thoughts and emotions and everything you have going on up here. There's telepathy, of course, and a little bit of magic, but by and large, nobody can share that. And the stories and the songs and everything we ever create, art, music, all of it, is vitally important.
Here's what happened to all the basil.
Because it reaches out to that part of us that's alone and says, you're not as alone as you think. Somebody else has been through what you're going through, and somebody else will again. And that is very important, and I think what you are doing here is phenomenal. And Kai is a writer, she does the same thing. Stories make us who we are, and make this world a little less desolate, I think. So, good on you. And you, Kai. All of you, for telling your stories tonight.
And I think you're right, and I think that bard who told you that was right. It's writing it down so others can see, so others can hear. It's a good way to not forget. It's a good way to be known. And I should hope that you'll all return here one day and give me more of your stories. And Shaho, if you're ever looking for a place, you're welcome here.
This is the truest thing I know. So, I'm tired. Sleep, everyone?
Yes, it is getting late. If you'd like, the parties will be going quite late tonight. We had some new people join the town, and every time that happens, we have a bit of a party. So, if you want, there is going to be a bonfire tonight, and you can join them in the festivities. But it won't be too loud if you're on the edges of town. So if you would prefer to sleep, you certainly can. We wouldn't begrudge you that. I know I'll probably be going to bed. It's been a late day, but feel free to partake of the party.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's very generous of you.
And thank you for all your stories.
Well, bonfire? Sleep? What are we doing then? Friends? I can't talk.
You're not super magical, are you?
Me?
No, Helena.
Me?
Oh, Helena.
Oh, well, I do a little bit of magic, but on the whole, no, it's mostly just the writing.
Can you turn horses back into people?
No, it's not something I've dabbled in.
Not any wizards here or anything, I guess.
We might have some. We can certainly see if anybody's available to speak with you. You would probably find them at the bonfire. Most people will be there tonight.
Shaho, did you say something? It was like I heard some squeaking and then there was just nothing. What were you saying?
Sorry, I was still enthralled by your song.
Goodness, alright.
Helena, thank you so much for your offer. It means a lot to me.
You're welcome. And like I said, you're welcome here anytime. And if you have stories you would like to tell, we have plenty of room for them. All right, well, I'm going to go to bed, but feel free to party. And she stands up to kind of go into like you see that there's like a curtained off section of the tent that like kind of like goes further back. You think that's probably where her like chambers are, like where she actually sleeps. But before she gets there, a bird actually flies into the tent. It's not particularly large. It's light brown, but it seems like it's probably made to blend in to the kind of like desolate landscape around here. And she stops and takes the message from the bird, pays it, and she starts. She reads it, and she seems a little bit disturbed. And then she, turns back and writes a quick message, gives it back to the bird, and the bird flies off, but it doesn't go far. It seems like it actually just goes to another part of the camp. Well, I won't share all the details, but before you go, you mentioned that that group that was on their way with Ryasa, they were going around the forest. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the information that we had.
All right. Well, perhaps it's good news. Some of my scouts, some of my patrols, did engage with a group that matched that description. The group escaped, but we did some damage. 2 of our own are down. They'll be
no.
fine. They'll recover. But it was serious. We're going to be doubling patrols in the area. But I did want to warn you, they did escape.
How close by were they?
It is, they were about a day and a half out. It was our furthest reaching patrol, the one that kind of scours the edges of the forest to make sure nothing untoward is going out or going in.
Right. Sorry, slightly selfish note. If you see someone who looks a little bit like me, but actually nothing like me, a little shorter, gold hair, bright green eyes, sort of tannish, freckles, lots of freckles, probably carrying an ungodly amount of serving equipment. If you see him come through here, can you please tell him to turn around and go back home? His name's January, and he's an idiot. And I love him, but he's an idiot.
Of
And
course.
he'll probably try to come after me. So, if he does come here... Well, no, what? You know what? Just don't let him leave. Just keep him here. He's not a fighter.
If I see him, I will keep him here.
Thank you.
If he's carrying sewing equipment, he should be pretty easy to kind of wrangle in. It's not easy to move that around. Yes, of course. If I see him, and I will keep him here.
Thank you.
And maybe just stop by on your way back so we can make sure that if he did end up here, you know.
Would you say that your forces are enough to handle them?
No, that's a good question.
We aren't an incredibly large village. We have quite a few patrols. We're doubling them, so those who usually wouldn't act as our patrols are going to, take up arms. They are well trained, but for instance, the blacksmith will be out, and well, we don't have a tailor, but if we did, the tailor would be out. The cook will be out. Things like that. We're all, adventurers in our own rights here. But our usual patrols are down 2 people, and we usually have, I'd say, about 3 patrols. 2 that stay close to the area, 1 that goes further out. And, well, the rest are going to be the backups, as it were.
That's a lot. Wow, this is a lot.
Can I suggest something crazy?
You can.
Tell her, please.
So, this group is trying to get where we're going, and they want what we're after.
Yes.
But right now we're in a fortified town with more reinforcements. What if we ambush them here and help try and take them down when we have more numbers than we would have, versus if they caught us or caught up to us and we just fight them on our own? I know it's crazy, but...
Not crazy, I just don't know if we want to drag them all into this.
I do worry. Our settlement is quite young, though the walls aren't that strong. But I have perhaps a middle ground. It is a good idea, if a wild one, Shaho. But here, I actually have a gift for you. Something that should help. And she goes into the back, back to her quarters, and then comes back out again. And she's holding a horn, like a musical instrument, or, like you would use to send out a warning. It's fairly simple, with a brass mouthpiece and a single metal band near the end. The body of the instrument is made from the horn of a large beast. Blowing into the horn will, with the correct technique, produces a loud call that can be heard throughout the Haggard Hills. And she, holds it out to you. If you blow into this horn, we will hear you, basically anywhere in the hills. If you get into a position that you need help, if they get to you and their numbers are too great, call us. We will get there as quick as we can, and we're quite good at getting through these hills quickly. This way we can combine our forces and kind of ambush them when they think they have the upper hand. And I'll actually show you all this item.
Ooh. A thingy.
A thingy.
A
You get a
fiendish thingy.
A thingy that I did plan to give you.
It's the
so
horn of Deus Ex Machina.
It is. It is.
This peculiar horn
Very good.
has
very
the face of a god on it and lots of mechanical whirrings.
Okay. Just gotta put this in your journals.
Do. We're blowing it. Wait, no.
All right.
Sorry.
If you look in your handouts,
In your no.
you will see the horn.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
You're
Yep,
forgiven. And here, I'm showing Shad as well.
No, I'm muting myself. I'm sorry.
It's all right. So yeah, this is the horn that she gave you. It's called the Odyssean Distress Call. And you can use this to call for aid if you need it. As long as you're in the Haggard Hills, they're not going to be able to hear you if you're like across the continent. So yeah.
This is incredible. Thank you. We weren't expecting it.
Well, I figure it's best if we do combine our forces, like you said. I can't, in good conscience, bring the fight here to my people. But we do have the patrols out, and that's what they're for helping those that we want to help. So, it's our pleasure. If you blow that horn, help will arrive. I can't promise how quickly, but it should be a good way to ambush our foes if they don't know they're coming.
Oh, I feel a bit better. I think I can actually enjoy the bonfire.
Yes, please.
Tremendous help. Thank you.
Go. Make merry or just get a good night's sleep. Whatever
I'm
you
not
prefer. I suppose you are. All right. I'm heading to bed. I am beat. But if you'd like to enjoy the bonfire, go ahead. And there could be some of our resident wizards there, if you did wish to speak about things more magical than my knowledge.
Or a really powerful cleric.
Oh, we do have a cleric, yes.
One maybe that could perhaps lift a fairly powerful curse.
Perhaps. We don't get a lot of curses in this area, but if he doesn't know how, he might be able to find out for you.
That would be helpful.
We do seek to acquire knowledge here, after all.
Yeah, my zebra's sort of a sorcerer, and he might be really helpful in the battle up ahead, so maybe more helpful if he wasn't a zebra.
Well, I can't promise it'll be that quick, but we can certainly try. Yes, he should be at the bonfire. His name is, it's Henry. Yes, Henry.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't, so his name is Henry, but he insists that we call him Henry the Great. He's a little bit full of himself. So, yes, if you want to get on his good side, call him Henry the Great. If you I don't call him Henry the Great because I think it's ridiculous. And regardless, it's Henry. It's Henry.
We address him as like Mr. Great.
You could call him Mr. Great. Maybe he'd like that. I don't know.
Okay.
He's a little bit full of himself. If you give him a problem that he can't solve, he's going to try and solve it. So he's a good man to have on your side if you have a question you can't answer. But he will make it insufferable.
Oh, I know everything about being insufferable, so we'll get along famously,
Yes.
I'm sure.
So he's Henry. Yes, he's Henry. So yes, we're lucky to have such a talented cleric. But oh boy. Don't tell him I said that.
No, only that you said to go speak to him, Henry the Great, because he might be able to solve our problem.
Yes, that would do well.
And that you have every confidence in him, yes?
Yes, perfect, yes. Tell him I have every confidence, and he really is the greatest cleric I've ever seen. He likes to hear that.
Oh, all right then. Thank you.
He is something else. I don't understand how that man. Anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. I'm going to bed. Henry should be at the bonfire telling tales of his greatness. So,
Helena?
yes.
do you have a crush on Mr. Great?
No. I don't.
No, that's not a crush at all. That's exasperation.
I don't. He's a little bit handsome, but he's insufferable.
I know about that too.
I see. So it just like gets on your nerves and you can't stop thinking about him, and just like when you're talking about him, you can just find yourself going on and on about it because he just really gets under your skin in a way that nobody else can.
Yes, he gets
Oh,
under my
no.
skin. It's maddening.
Okay, we'll have a talk with Mr. Great.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Yes, I'm going to bed.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
No, not you. Actually,
Oh.
Kevin, I need to talk to you after this.
Did you still want to try out different tusk colors?
Oh, I did. Yes. So before I go to bed, Zasa, let's do that. And get my mind off of Henry. All right, perfect. Not that it's on Henry. We're thinking about tusks.
Sweating? You look like you're sweating.
It's a little bit warm in here. I'm fine.
I think
Insight
it's
check. Does this woman have a crush on Henry the Great? I must know.
Yeah, roll that insight.
Yo. 19.
Oh.
You
Wait,
think
do I
she?
have advantage? I think I have advantage.
If you do, you do.
I think I have advantage.
That's one of our group advantages.
You want to use your division advantage? We must find out.
You must know whether Helena has a crush on Henry.
Oh, I know.
I think
can
I
see what's
actually
going
do
on.
have advantage on insight checks.
Yeah, I believe you
so-
do due to your class. Yeah, so Marigold.
Yep. No. At resolute temerity, I have advantage. 24.
Helena definitely has a crush on Henry. But she's very much in that denial stage where she's like, he's so
okay.
annoying. But
So annoying.
so annoying, like he's the worst. But
Absolute
really, it's just he is a little bit insufferable, but
Is she
also
twirling her hair?
yeah, she's into it. She's kind of into it. Is basically what it is. But she insists she's not.
Oh, of course. No.
Of course,
No.
she's not sweating. She doesn't have butterflies in her stomach when she thinks about Henry.
Never. Kevin, I would like to make you some tea.
Yes, let's go get tea.
Mm-hmm. Right. Does also have fun with the tasks? I just
Okay.
loop an armor of like Kai and Kevin and Shaho and just leave them away.
And Sasa, you and Helena spend some time like in front of a mirror, like trying out different tusk colors. Do you have a recommendation for what you think would look good on her?
Maybe something in a soft orange to just sort of highlight her fur.
Oh, I like that. As you know, you get kind of like that soft orange. It kind of pops still without being outlandish. She's like, I think I'd like to keep looking at this for a while. We might have to try another one in the morning, but I do like it. Well, thank you.
Good.
It's honestly something I hadn't really considered.
Well, if people are staring at it, then why not take control of that?
Take control of the narrative. Yes. Yes, I like it. Zasa, I like the way you think.
Thank you.
I'd love for you to stop by sometime after, this quest's over. You're welcome here. All of you are welcome here, but I'd like to pick your brain.
Marigold's stolen everybody else, so it's just her and Zasa.
Yep. She's gonna pick your brain, Zasa.
Like, with a lockpick and a tension wrench?
Oh,
That seems
no.
very uncomfortable for me.
No, I mean, I would like to hear more about what you think.
Oh.
We would
Oh,
compare
okay.
notes.
I see. Yes, I have lots of notes.
Perfect. Yes. Please come back someday. For now, though, go have a good night. You look,
Thank you.
you all look tired and a little bit haggard. And I don't mean that in a bad way, like, making fun of you. I just mean you deserve a rest.
A rest would be nice.
Well,
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I think I'll probably enjoy the bonfire. I mean, it's quite warm, and I don't generate my own body heat, so fire in a moderate amount is very, very nice.
Oh, the bonfires are quite the party. If I wasn't so tired already, and if I didn't have to run an entire city, I'd be out there myself. But I only do one every once in a while. All right. Well, I'm going to bed, and she kind of like bids you farewell. And as she's leaving, like, you notice that she like stops by the mirror one more time to like look at her tusks, and then she like goes back into like her private quarters. Okay, so let me find the music for the bonfire. I mean, basically, here it is. Oh, and I can switch this back to...
So, Kevin. And Charlotte.
Yeah, I think
And
as
Guy.
soon as we get outside the tent, Caravan's turning to Marigold. We have got to get her set up with mister Great.
No, she's nuts about him, actually. Kai, you can see it, right?
Kai has to be able to see it. Kai is
Absolutely.
the romance wizard.
Romance novelist. You can totally see it, right?
Yes,
Fanning,
absolutely.
the twirling, he's so annoying, he gets under my skin.
What are y'all talking about? It seems like she hates that blacksmith guy.
No, the cleric.
The cleric.
Oh, the cleric, yeah.
Mr. the Great.
I feel like you weren't really paying attention.
But I mean, she was like, he's annoying, and
Yes.
he wants to be called great, and she
Yep.
doesn't want to do that.
Right.
Here's the
Oh,
thing,
like
like, why was she talking about him so much? It's because she is just thinking about him so much, and I think a lot of people confuse strong emotions. They
That's
don't
true.
realize that it's affection, she just thinks it's annoyance. So she thinks she wants to throw up when she sees him, and maybe she does, but it's actually because she likes him and not because he's disgusting.
Or sometimes you can just be really revolted by someone and it's that straightforward, but there was the
Yeah,
hair
sometimes,
pulling and
yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes people are
There's
really
a little
just
extra
horrible.
there.
Yeah, no. But no, there's hints. You know, when you hang around people, watch people fall in love in taverns all the time.
Her whiskers got really moist in the way that yours do when you're thinking about your boyfriend.
Okay, what? No, she just seemed all like happy, thought, I don't know. Is it a body language? It's hard to explain. Anyway, she likes him.
Annoyed but happy.
Is it like when you talked about January and you just be like, oh, January, like that?
Yeah, how Marigold gets so pissed.
Yeah. It's
When he talks about January, who he's obviously still
Poor
in love
Marigold.
with and has unresolved feelings for.
All right, look, we're going to sit down and talk about this right now because Zasa's not right here. And I feel bad for Zasa not being here. Where's Zasa? I look around for Zasa. Where's Zasa?
Zasa's inside having a fashion show and making Helena look great for her soon-to-be boyfriend, Mr. Great.
Okay, we'll tell her later. Look, all right, look, all of you, just look. I crouched down next to all of you.
Are we huddling?
We are huddling. Come on, come in. Glitter cloak. Phoop. All right, look. Between the four of us, Marigold actually did have to count. His intelligence is only 10. Give him a break. Look, between the four of us, yes, I still love him. And yes, he drives me crazy because he's stubborn. And he won't leave me alone, and he won't give up on me, even though I spend all of my time traveling and touring. He's like, no, I'll wait for you. And I'm like, no, that's a terrible burden. But actually, I feel really guilty because it's like, I'm never home, right? And so,
See, Shaho, this is exactly what Helena sounded like. It's just another example of how when you have these feelings for someone that you're not dealing with, it just kind of, they come out, you know?
Right, yeah, exactly. No, I'm horrible at dealing with my feelings. So we all know this, obviously. Yes, I'm still mad about him. Yes, I'm absolutely worried about him. I even changed my eyeliner, for Pete's sake. I haven't changed my eyeliner. I don't know who Pete is. I haven't changed my eyeliner in 5 years, and I changed it just because I don't feel pink anymore.
You don't feel pink anymore?
I know. It's awful. Every time I think of him, I get this horrible knot in my stomach, like something's happened to him.
Well, I mean, you sent the bird. I'm sure he's fine. And Mary, who will be back soon. And you guys can get reunited and smooch a lot, and it'll be fine.
Marigold seems to consider the idea of smooching. Seems a little foreign to him.
I just look. You're doing the really thick eyeliner it's not like you, Marigold, and it concerns me.
Oh,
It's
what's
not
he-
your style.
Oh, no, you know, I had black eyeliner for ages before I met you lot. The pink is
Okay.
recent in the last 5 years, and I thought maybe if I was pinker, people would like me. My hair's actually white, you know.
If you
I
were
dye it.
pinker. I don't think people like other people based on how pink they are.
January preferred my actual hair color, so the pink
It
is
just-
ridiculous.
Judging somebody and deciding how much you like them or don't like them based on the color of different body parts would be really stupid, and I don't know why anybody would ever do that. So I think if you want to keep your white hair or your pink hair, you should just do whatever you want and not worry about what other people might think.
This actually rinses out in like 2 weeks, so if I stop,
That seems like a lot of upkeep.
it is incredibly taxing. Actually, I have this whole collection of dye. Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's go find this cleric. I need to go sort my zebra out.
Okay. So I want to see if Henry is like the good kind of full of himself or the bad kind of full of himself.
Okay.
I want to see how he struts
Okay.
to see if we should be setting him up.
May I assist
With Helena.
Kai so she has advantage?
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Actually, I gently tap you on the shoulder. You know what? You know people better than I do. You've got a really good sense of people. Bardic inspiration. Ow.
All right.
It was a little emphatic.
Don't inspire
Sasa,
so hard.
you're coming back now. You finished your fashion show. Everybody's kind of heading to the bonfire. You can all kind of see Henry at the bonfire. Henry is, he's kind of tall, like a little bit willowy, especially for a manticora, who are, you know, they're usually a little bit stockier than he is. He's, but he has, like, very light fur around, like, his face, and, like, his mane is very light, but then the rest of his fur is very dark, so it's kind of like it makes him look very interesting, very, you know, one might say handsome if you were into manticora. So he has like this very light hair, mane, and then like darker fur everywhere else. And he has like kind of like little speckles down his arms. And he's wearing kind of like what looks like like you would describe as like a cleric's robe. It's in a pale tan with like white designs on it. And he's currently having a discussion at the bonfire, you know, with somebody else. If you would like to roll an insight to just kind of like read him as a person, I'd let you do that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I will be assisting, so you have advantage and you have bardic inspiration. It's a 1d4.
Oof.
Wish I had guidance, but I don't.
insight.
Sorry.
So advantage, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh,
Yes. Add
nice,
that
nice.
1d4 though.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Okay, so
22?
22. So from you're kind of observing Henry from the distance, and he has he clearly has a very confident air about him. When he talks, he is like actually very engaged with the person that he's talking to. It's not like he's over talking them. He does seem to be tooting his own horn a little bit, but it doesn't seem like it's outlandish by any means. And he is actually like participating in a good conversation. He is, you know, listening to the other person. He's not over talking. It's just, he does kind of err a little bit on the side of, I'm great, but he also seems to be lifting the other person up.
Okay. All right. I walk up to him, and I get his attention, and I'm like, "Oh, great and powerful Henry, we have heard tale of your greatness, and we would like to speak with you."
He kind of stops the conversation. He said, which was winding down anyway. It's not like super interrupted by any means. And his eyes get wide, and he looks a little bit like, oh, well, you've heard of me.
Why, yes, we have heard tale of your greatness around these lands, far and wide. And we are in need of some assistance, and we hear you are the only person who would be able to help us.
Well, I do have a varied skill set. Well, what can I help you with? Yes, please, take a seat. And he would kind of like gesture to like some like logs that are kind of on the side, like by the campfire. And as he sits down himself, like he kind of like flips his cloak out a little bit. It's very dramatic.
Oh no, I forgot that. He's as extra as I am.
And when he sits, he like crosses his feet at the ankles, and then like turns his full force attention on you, and it is like being stared at by like you've never felt like someone was paying more attention to you than you do right now, but like in a good way. Tell me.
My friend Marigold has something that requires your specific talent. Marigold, will you please?
Well, actually, hello, my name's Marigold. I'm a bard. You might have heard of me. I flip my cloak out, and it's very sparkly. It shimmers.
Can we pause briefly? We just hit our goal.
We just hit our goal!
Yay! Thanks, guys.
Thank you
Thank you so much, everybody.
Woo!
Thank you so much for the donations. Henry the Great thanks you all.
Thank you, darlings. That is absolutely fantastic of you. It's going towards a wonderful cause. So proud of all of you.
Road flips for you all.
Oh, thank you so much, everybody.
Woo!
And so Henry is like, well, I might have heard of you. What is it you do?
I'm a singer. Well, a bard. Part of the College of Remembrance.
Oh, a bard, yes. Yes, I might have heard of you. Have you heard of me?
I have. I've heard that you're the greatest cleric in these parts, actually.
I mean, there's not many clerics, so maybe it's not saying much, but I do fancy myself quite the cleric.
Well, actually, you come on high recommendation from, oh god, what is her name? My ADHD help.
Helena.
Elena or Helena?
Helena.
As in we're going to Helena later, next episode? Yeah. Alright, cool. No, you come on high recommendation from Helena.
Oh, Helena! She's wonderful, lovely,
Isn't
really.
she, though?
She is.
A mesmerizing storyteller.
Isn't
she? Just
she
absolutely
tells
clever.
The best stories. I would be so honored to hear the tales she tells about me. And if I were a storyteller, I'd want to tell tales about her.
Sure, was it? And I turned to you as you were taking a bite of whatever the hell you just took a bite of, and immediately turned to Caravan.
Shao, I mean Caravan.
Rations.
Wasn't Helena just speaking about Henry the Great in just absolutely glowing terms?
Yeah, she was just like, make sure that you call him great because he is, and that's what he deserves. And it would put us on, good footing with you. She made sure to mention just how great you were and how much you deserve that respect and that title.
Well, if she thinks so highly of me, I could have thought, well, no, regardless.
You should have seen her whiskers.
Talking about you. She just kept talking about you.
She did.
Yes,
she was glowing.
Not quite like literally glowing. I minor illusion, a very beautiful glow around myself for a second. Not like glowing like this, but like she talked of you and just absolutely.
Well, that's
Fuck
certainly
words.
It's certainly saying something. I mean, Helena is quite the magnetic personality herself. That drive, that passion. Oh, it's something else. I'm sure you've met her. She's quite the stories to tell.
Absolutely.
She's, you know what, actually, one of my friends has a wonderful way of words that I don't, and he would call her enchanting.
Enchanting, I like that. Yes, enchanting. She is enchanting. Well, I could go on about Helena all night. She's the reason I'm here. Regardless, you need my help.
I do.
Well, what can I do for you?
I have a problem with horse. No, I have a problem.
Well, I think a lot of
No.
people do.
No, I have a problem with my horse. My problem with my horse.
Your horse. What's wrong with your horse?
Caravan sips her wine that she ran out with her.
That was rude, not Marigold. I'm sorry.
Perhaps you should say
Uh,
zebra.
Zebra. I have a
Yes,
problem with
zebra.
my zebra.
Oh,
Lily, darling, could you come here, please?
is your zebra sick? And Menaluan comes over, and he looks like a zebra. He looks quite healthy. I don't see anything necessarily wrong with him.
No, he's not actually a zebra. He's a person. He was cursed.
Oh.
And I tried lesser restoration on him, but I'm not really. Magic's not really my thing. I'm more of a rapier, singy, glittery sort of fellow.
Well, I have done some curse breaking in my time, but it's been a while. There's not many curses to break around here, you know.
Would you be willing to try on him?
Yes, it will take some time.
How long? A few hours?
Well, I need to find the right books. We don't have them here.
So a few days.
A few days, yes. I will try my best, but I'll need to take some notes. I'll need to study him, and then once I've studied him, once I've seen exactly what's going on here, I should be able to break the curse. And if I can't, my name isn't Henry the Great.
You and Elena deserve each other. You're just obsessed with books.
Well, that's why we ended up in Odyssey.
I will. I'll reach over to Menalu and pat his neck, and kind of initiate the telepathic uplink. Dial up tones.
I love noises. Taking me back.
Menalu, are you all right with that? You might have to stay here for a little.
He kind of gets a little bit like a nervous feeling that you get, but then he thinks back as much as he can. If it will get me to be a person again.
Did he just talk to me? Or is
It
it
was-
like we were talking?
It was like a little of both. You heard some real words, but a lot of it was thoughts and feelings, and then there was a couple words.
Well, maybe you have to break the curse yourself. That would be something. Legend lore on the zebra!
It's
If you-
random though.
It is random,
Fuck!
and you
Okay.
did already use it today. You can't use it again today.
Right, sorry.
Yeah.
Can we
Right.
use advantage with a roll for it?
Yeah,
Tomorrow?
you could use that advantage if you roll in the morning. You could use the advantage that you guys have from the donations to get basically to roll twice to try and get legend lore.
That seems like a bad use of that, especially if we're gonna die. Ears twitch when I talk. That's really weird. Okay, anyway. No, if you would be obliged to help him. Sorry for derailing the conversation. I've just had a day. The brain
No,
juice is
no, I
frazzled.
completely understand. Yes, I would be happy to
Trees.
take a look.
Trees
It's
in my brain.
that's certainly weird. I don't recommend putting trees in your brain.
No.
Don't put
No.
them there. Who's been telling you to put trees in your brain?
No, the tree was in my head, but now you know what? If you can help my friend.
Marigold,
Right,
you have
right.
to stop telling people about the brain splinters if you're not going to give the full story. They get really confused.
Okay, so I briefly explained the fact that I'm apparently telepathic and can talk to sentient creatures. And briefly shared memories with an entire forest.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been sort of a day. Anyway.
That does sound like a day. Well, I think I can help. It will take some time. I can't promise I can break it, but I at least know that I can get you more information, and I can help break it. So, if you don't mind leaving your zebra with me, Menaluan, I promise to treat him well. I can't promise I can understand him telepathically, because that's not a thing I can do, no matter how great I am, but, is there anything he likes, doesn't like, anything he wants me to know?
Just look at Menaluan. Wow.
You get kind of the feeling that he's a little bit hungry right now, but other than that, just that, you kind of hear snippets of music, you think that he's saying, and then, you even say, he even, you hear the word music, and, he's just asking for music, while you're gone.
Oh. He likes singing. He's a big fan of the arts, so if you can keep him around people who are singing, I think he'll be quite happy. And he's hungry right now. And I'm sorry, darling, I haven't fed you. Kai, Shaho, do you have any questions? You've been awful quiet.
I know that he doesn't like lizard treats. I've tried to give him some worms before, and he's not into them.
Why? Okay, I guess it's a thought that counts.
Henry's like, music, yes, music we can do. We have some bards. They're quite good. Yes, we can just have him hang out, in the theater district. It's not really a theater district because we have like 2 buildings, but it's a thought that counts. One day we'll have a theater district. I love the theater.
Kai,
Yes.
you're full religious, right?
Mhm.
Sort of. You do the religion
Sort of.
thing.
Yeah.
You do the religion thing. Look, I'm really bad at this. I'm just trying to come up with
Yeah.
ways that you can talk to each other. I really have I think I should get some rest. I think that tree in my head did something to me. I'm just not myself.
And I think that the rest of you are able to spend as much time at the bonfire as you like. Just hanging out with the Manticore there. You meet lots of interesting characters, lots of fun people. They seem like a very good group, all kind of brought together by the love of knowledge and the want to kind of start something new. Nobody is quite as interesting as Helena or as Henry. They're certainly something else, but you're able to enjoy a nice night of by the campfire with song and stories, and maybe tell some stories of your own. And then you get a full night's rest.
Woo!
And
Guys, Helena and Henry even sounds like super cute as a couple.
They really do.
and right now we're gonna take a quick break so everybody can do human stuff if they need to. And then when we get back, it's morning and you get to go traveling again. Yay!
Do you think they'd hyphenate their last names to be Great Storyteller?
Oh my god, Henry and Helena, the great storyteller.
Wow.
Storytellers.
Storytellers.
To be a family.
Right, yeah.
I ship them so hard.
Yeah, chat. Think about all the people that you ship while we're gone. Give us ship names, please, for Henry and
my
Helena.
God.
We need to name this ship so it can sail away.
Can I name my own ship?
You can.
Jerigold.
Jerigold. That's good. Chat. If you have other suggestions for January and Marigold, let us know. And we'll be back in about 5 minutes. So, see you in 5.
Oh.
We're doing it live. Hello, everyone. We're back. All right, we all had a break. We all did all the human things we need to do. We got rid of a spammer in our chat because that's what we do. We ban spammers. And yes, so we are ready to get going. It is now. Oh, actually, before morning.
Uh-oh.
It's nothing. It's fine. Before morning. Let me just change the music.
Hey, you said that we had a full night's rest.
You
No take-backs.
You did. But there's just something that, in particular, that someone needs to know about something. All right. So, Kai, as you're sleeping,
Oh no.
you have a dream.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a little while since you've had your discussion.
Yep.
And somebody wishes to speak with you. As you're dreaming, whatever dream you were having before kind of fades a little bit, and you kind of get that feeling again that there is that bright light all around you. And you hear that voice again, that same kind of soft, melodic, but still stern voice. And it kind of calls out to you. Kai, it's been a while since we spoke. How are you doing?
Better.
Good. Do you think you're starting to find the way you'd like to take?
I think I've narrowed it down to a few.
Good. I know it's a trying time for anybody. Having to change what you believe or who you believe in.
Very much so.
Well, I don't mean to disturb your slumber. I just wanted to check in and see if you'd made a decision.
Yes, I have. I am ready to accept your gift.
Wonderful. I am happy to pass it on to you. Now, as I said before, there are really very few strings attached. All I would like is that you continue to do good, and you continue to be that light in the darkness in Skarn, that you show mercy when you can, and when you can't, that you are fair and just. You do not need to worship me, you do not need to follow me, but you just need to keep doing the good that you've already been doing. Agreed?
Yes, I agree.
Then you have my boon. Use it well, and I hope you won't need it too much, but the world is a very scary place.
Thank you. I think it'll come in handy in these next few days.
There are dark things on the horizon for you and your party. I wish you luck, though, and know that I'm watching. I like you all. You're very fun.
Yes, we are.
Well, I'll let you get back to sleep. And if you see my brother, ignore him. As much hurt as he can do, you're stronger than it.
That's the plan.
All right. Goodbye now. And Madriel fades away. And you wake up in the morning feeling a little bit of a pep in your step, actually. And as you kind of like give yourself like a morning like once over, you know, like just like kind of getting ready for the day, you notice that one of your hands has a mark on it that you've never seen before. It kind of looks like a birthmark, kind of like just a little bit of skin that's a little bit of a different color than before. And it's in the shape of a spearhead that's pointing upward with like feathers attached to it. And it's not an exact shape, but it's pretty close. And when you look at it, knowing what Madriel's symbol is, you can tell that that's what this is.
That's new. Okay.
everybody else, you can all wake up as usual. You don't have any strange dreams.
It's only me with the dreams tonight.
Was there a roof?
Yeah, there would have been at least a couple buildings that had roofs. On the whole, it's mostly tents, but there is, like 1 or 2 roofed buildings.
Up on the roof, absolutely. Transom on the roof.
Up on the rooftop.
Goes the bard.
Insight.
And Candy, if you need what that is.
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Don't
so
fail your
So I
deck
don't think
save or you'll be sick.
yes.
Okay.
Let me just grab that for you real fast.
Sweet.
Garvin's having her morning mimosa.
Fuck yes.
It's brunch time.
Marigold's probably been either up for a few hours or is just coming out of trance when everybody else is. It means he stays up all night. That makes sense.
Okay, so I just put it in our Discord. There you go.
Okay.
All right. So it is morning. Let me just get my morning soundtrack going. As you wake up, the town itself is starting to wake up as well. It seems like there were some people partying late into the night, even after you went to bed, and they're still sleeping. So there's not as many people up as you think there usually would be, but there's still plenty of people who are going about their day, waking up and just kind of living a normal life in this little town that's popping up in the middle of nowhere. Is there anything you all want to do in the morning before you head out, or are you just heading straight out after you get some food and rations?
Probably head it straight out because we don't want to draw them here.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh crap, I need a horse.
Oh, yeah.
You
Leave
do.
them
Yours
over
is
here.
staying here.
Shit. I'd go find a horse. And say goodbye to Menaloon, because of course I do.
As you say goodbye to Metaloon, he kind of gently headbutts you, kind of nudging you, and then leans his head against yours. And you get kind of a feeling of this is scary, but for a good reason. And then you get another word, and it's just it's okay.
Marigold has a very private sniffle and kind of rubs the side of his face, tells him it'll be all right, and then kind of immediately dismisses himself to not lose the illusion of being, unflappably bardic.
Of course. You're able to find a horse after all the stories that you all told yesterday and your performance. Marigold, you're a little bit of a legend in the camp after that song, and you are provided with a riding horse.
Oh. Okay. Is it as sassy as I am, or is it just a normal horse?
Just a normal horse.
Aww.
Well, okay. I'll make friends with it anyway and find it some apples and then go find the group.
All right. Anybody else doing anything? I know Caravan's having her mimosa. Marigold was getting another horse. Anybody else doing anything?
Blazing out in the sun.
Getting your fur nice and warm?
Yeah, toasting.
Sun warm fur. All right.
It's also prestidigitates the horse's main
Nice. Pink.
Aww! I'm genuinely touched in and out of character.
The horse looks quite eye-catching now and stylish and fun. Fun and flirty and hip.
I hope the horse isn't flirty.
Oh,
Yikes.
No,
Yikes.
it's fine.
Yikes.
It's not feeling anything that strong.
Is it just
Yikes.
me, or is the horse holding its tail in a weird way?
Stop.
You're sassy, you dial it back.
You need to stop.
All right. The horse is not having that much of a good time. The horse is a normal horse and it's fine. But it now has a pink mane.
And I can't talk to it, right?
You cannot talk to it.
Okay, cool.
It's, you can connect with it as much you can connect with any animal. You kind of get that weird kind of just like blankness, maybe the occasional feeling, but nothing super strong or
It's not like talking to like a sentient person.
yeah, it's not like talking to like a person or a sentient being or anything. Okay. It's just you get kind of some vague feelings. You get really strong feelings if it's like if it was upset, for instance. But on the whole, you don't get too much beyond that.
Okay, that's fine. Right, so everyone have what you need, got what you need. We get everything, rations, directions, sense of purpose.
Sorry. It's getting pretty existential.
Yeah, no, I think I'm going through some things right now.
It seems like you are.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything back from you know who?
No, not yet.
Okay,
no news is good news, honestly.
Mary knows where to find you.
Yes. Right, into this barren wasteland. Yeehaw. What does yeehaw mean? Is that like...
Oh.
Erin puts on her sun hat.
Is that gnomish? Yeehaw?
Yeah. All right, so you're able to just kind of head out. As you're leaving, you do kind of see Helena. She's busy like doing the day-to-day operations of the camp, like kind of directing people around, you know, helping like set up things. And she does wave to you, you know, kind of does like a little bit of a like, good luck, and do be careful. And if you need us, use the horn. It's what it's there for.
Horny cats.
Thank you.
Question: who has the horn? That might be important.
Oh, I was thinking Shaho had it.
Shaho, yeah.
I have it.
All right. Okay, so are you doing anything in particular as you leave the hills to try and find this Serpenthold?
We have the thing.
You do.
Erin will take out her radar compass.
Can I give her bardic inspiration?
Right?
Fumes with radar
Pretty good.
compass.
Okay, so as you kind of pull,
Final Fantasy?
as you pull it out, Caravan, you know, once it leaves the bag, you immediately kind of feel that little bit of a pull. It's still a bit distant right now. It's not tugging you super hard. You know, as you get closer, the pull does get stronger. But it is pulling you to the south, so kind of like further into the hills.
I'm totally connecting with Mormo bits right now. I can't say what bits for sure. Oh, it's the uvula. That's what we were going for, right? The dangly? It's
no,
definitely...
you have the dangly.
We have the dangly. That was the gift. I am sorry. I don't know body parts very well. This is not a good role for me. But something is calling me. I think it's Mormo. It's going to be real bad if this connects to other people. But we should totally go south. But like pretty far south.
And Zasa, if you did want to use the telescope, I mean not the telescope, the spyglass, it is going to give you distance to be able to see pretty far, as well as you can use its effects, but it also does just work as a looking glass. Like you can just use it to see far.
Yep, definitely doing that.
Okay.
Off we go into the wild dead yonder.
So let me just put you.
Zasa!
So I'm gonna put us on the big map real fast, just so everybody can take a look where you're going.
No.
Okay, so
Why is everything so small?
No, the other end, darling.
it
The
up.
other end.
Oh,
Turn it
that was
around.
silly.
so right now you're probably about right here. You know, like you were not too far outside of the stricken forest. That's why the you know, why Helena's Manticora, like why they were patrolling outside that area, because they're pretty close to the stricken forest and they need to be aware of threats around it. But as you're looking around with that spyglass, you don't spot too much, Zasa, if you're going to the south, but you do spot a little bit more greenery, you guess, like down around here. So, like, it doesn't look like it's from the Ganges, like, it's not connected to that, but there is, like, something kind of green over this way.
Does Zasa know of any anything that might be green aside from errant trees?
Now, you have experienced that at most Serpentholds, there has been kind of a pop-up of flora and other plants that are poisonous. There's been various vines, different plants that have been at basically every Serpenthold you've been at in one form or another.
Well, it seems like that's the way.
That way we go then.
Let's go.
Yeah. Caravan's gonna put her guard up and start looking out for any shady shit to jump out from the shade and shit on us.
Got my ears on and ready to listen.
Me and Komodo are definitely gonna head up and like be actively checking for the poisonous plants along the way and tracks or anything.
All right, roll me a survival, Shaho. Nope.
Oh,
There you go.
thank you.
Okay, 21. So, at first, you really don't spot anything poisonous beyond like the usual thing that you would expect in an area like this. You know, some kind of scruff, maybe some berries that aren't good to eat. But the further you walk, you do start spotting more and more plants that don't really seem native to the area. It is, it's not quite a path you can follow yet, but it's getting there. You think that, you know, if you keep kind of going in this direction, following that pole of the coin, of the emblem, you think you're on the right track, but it is going to take a little while to get there. Maybe about a day of kind of walking through these hills.
Okay, yeah, it's probably going to take us about a day, but I definitely think we're headed in the right direction for sure.
Is there any way we can speed it up?
No, but I'm glad we have you, Shaho. We'd be lost if you weren't with us.
I think you guys would find a way to manage, but it's nice to
No.
be helpful.
No.
So, if you did want to push it, you could probably cut your travel to a half day, but it would wear out the animals.
Well, what do you think? Do you think they can take it, Shaho? You're more the animal person than I am.
We could push it to make it there, but with tiring them out, trying to escape would be a lot more difficult. So if we push now, we can't push later.
That's a good point.
I was going to raise that. Yes, it's very good. It's a very good point.
Sorry.
And we're what, a day ahead in possible? Well, actually, because they probably have to stop and rest as well. So still probably a day and a half ahead.
Probably only a day. They were a day and a half behind us, but we don't know if they're resting at the same rate. So I would just say that half is probably the chunk of time we lost. So we may just be a day.
Yeah, possibly if they pushed it for that time. So yeah.
They did have to deal with a fight,
So
though,
a day and a half.
That might help us.
There's
It
no
might.
way
Yeah.
to know, but I think the land around them will also be opposing them wherever they go, which is slightly reassuring.
And again, yeah, like Zaza said, they were slowed down by that patrol.
They were
But I just don't want to take any chances. I
Yeah,
think we can risk it to just keep going at a normal pace right now to it.
I agree with that.
Yeah, no, I think we should trust your instinct on that.
All right. I'd like everybody to roll a perception check for me, just for as you're traveling. And Shaho, if you want to do another survival, you can as well.
Perception.
I thought that 20 was my roll, and I actually got really excited. I saw the board.
Aww. Okay. So,
Sorry.
Yeah, probably don't see anything.
Zasa and Marigold, right now, you don't think that, you as you're going, you don't really encounter any threats. You don't sense anything. You don't feel like you're being followed too closely beyond the natural animals that would be in this area. Although you are starting to get kind of a weird feeling. It is kind of the same feeling that you've had at other Serpentholds, where there's something kind of that feels a little bit wrong about the area. And Shaho, you are definitely noticing an uptick in the amount of poisonous plants in the area. There's now even like a clear path that's going towards a specific area. Like basically like a path, you could walk down it if you didn't want to be poisoned, but just leading you towards a very specific hillside that's a little ways in the distance.
It's kind of safe to kind of go this way, but it definitely looks like there's a path here.
Alright. Do you want to go first then?
Actually, Zasa, do you think you want to go first in case you need to acid away any of the poisonous plants once this is no longer a clear-cut path?
Sure, that makes sense.
And I'll back you up.
All right.
Ooh.
Yep.
Oh boy.
I feel like the ambient music that follows me around in my life just got really creepy and ominous.
It is a bit ominous, yes. Wait, you can hear that?
Oh yeah.
Music that's going on in your head the whole time, right? You can hear that?
Well, I mean, I thought it was just because of my connection to the ocean. The ocean is always making music.
It does sing. Yes, I've heard tale of the songs of the ocean.
Just trying to
Never
get
heard
you
them before.
all on this map. Wait, who am I missing? Just Marigold? One, two, three. Yes.
I'm there. I'm too
Where are
fabulous
you?
to be missed. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you were on the map and I just couldn't see you. I'm like, how?
No. How do you lose a pink elf?
Yeah, that was my feeling. Exactly.
I am not on the map. Can I drag my shit?
A bright pink,
There you go.
12-foot tall elf.
I am 6'3".
All right, arrange yourselves as you will.
Alright, I will be in the middle.
I'll take the back again.
I cannot control my horse.
Oh, let me give that to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to be kind of near the front too. Caravan's nervous about Zasa being up there.
Mm. So I guess it'll be Zasa, Kevin, Shaho, me, then Kai. And our friends. Animal friends.
Alright.
Gotta give you control of this. There we go. You should now have control of the horse.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Alrighty. Okay, so, let me say what you see. Because it is some stuff.
Say what you see.
Okay. As you kind of approach this area, the hill that you had a feeling you should be going to based on the greenery, based on the pull of that medallion, the usually barren ground has grown thick with greenery, and you see a cave mouth kind of gaping wide. The greenery itself, as you've noted, is highly poisonous, with various different like plants and flowers that you know from the past are not good for you. You should not try to eat them. But it's basically started to grow so thick that you can't even see the ground or the rest of that hill. It's just this big kind of hole in the wall with this weird greenery all around it. I'd like another perception check from everybody.
15 to hearing, 9 to sight.
Okay. Okay, I think we just need, yeah. Okay, so Zasa, you, and, yeah, Zasa and Marigold. So, Zasa, you see something in the greenery. You see something that definitely gives you pause. There's movement, a certain slithering. And, Marigold, you hear the kind of rustling of plant life, and you hear a soft...
We have snakes again. Do you want me to scare them off?
Maybe?
I ready the bagpipes. Oh, motherfuck. I don't
let's
think
show
backpacks
chat.
are gonna work on that. Do they just show up?
They just
Gonna need a bigger bagpipe.
some gigantic snakes slither out of the cave,
Boy.
and they seem to be guarding the entrance.
Fuck.
Well then.
I know what I'm gonna do.
Run?
Uh,
Because that's what I'd like to do.
I was gonna say that. but-
Ervin's gonna call out to them
Oh, yeah.
in a Sothi.
Mm-hmm.
Say, "Hi! Oh my God, your skills are so cool. Is this where you live?
It's true, your scales are very pretty.
They look really cool. Do you oil?"
You hear some slithering, and I'd like you to roll me a flattery check. I guess like a persuasion. Persuasion.
No, we don't really have diplomacy anymore. Let's do
Yeah.
persuasion.
Give her inspiration.
You
You're
do
very charming, Kevin.
You-
Smack.
could also use one of your advantages.
Oh,
24.
yeah.
I feel like that might be better in battle.
Yeah, I'm
If we have
really
to
sure
battle.
we're gonna die, so I don't want to use them outside of battle.
Okay.
Plus
roll.
1d4.
Okay, yeah, 1d4.
Oh yeah.
Yells and bard.
quickly.
Inspiration.
Hey.
14.
Okay. Hopefully.
Let me see how. Okay.
Persuadable
okay.
a snake
How
is.
persuadable a snake is. Yeah.
Caravan beams brightly from atop her frilled lizard.
Oh, you beam, do you?
A beam.
At first, the snakes seem to preen a little bit as if they can tell from the tone of your voice that you're saying something complimentary. But then you show your teeth,
Oh no.
Oh.
Shit.
and they kind of like sink low to the ground and start hissing louder.
Oh, maybe they're insecure about their scales.
Heck.
I would like you all to roll for initiative.
There it is. There
Yeah.
it goes.
Whoop! There it is!
Let me clear this tracker first. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, it's clear.
Ass,
Oh,
ass,
it
ass,
is
ass,
initiative.
ass, ass, ass.
Okay. Oh.
What if I just
Alright, so I know.
put... Can I do this?
Oof. Oof.
Fancy rolled really high on initiative. Wanted to see if that would work. You don't have to give Fancy a turn.
I mean, Fancy generally doesn't have a turn, just because you don't have the skills to command him. But if you wanted to take a full turn to try and get him to do something, I would let you do that.
Oh no, I assume Fancy would just like hiss and run on his turn. He's kind of a diva.
Yeah, he is. All right, so has everybody rolled? Let's organize this. All right, Marigold, you're up first
Oof.
before the snakes.
Keep her down this list.
Alright, okay, you know what? Which snakes are best at mathematics? Adders. Tasha's laughter.
Now, can you remind me? Do they
work on-
need to understand a language?
A creature with an intelligence score of 4 or lower is not affected.
It's
Oh.
unaffected.
Shit! They don't like jokes!
They don't like jokes.
Crap! I draw my rapier and get off my horse as my movement.
Don't like jokes.
We don't understand how to talk to these snakes.
All right, it's the snake's turn.
Oh god.
Which one? Ah, Top Boy. Okay, let's see.
Dare you not appreciate my humor? That was great.
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
I've also got a magic snake. Abracadabra.
The snake slithers up to you, Zasa, and hisses. And then it goes in for a bite.
Stranger
18.
danger. Stranger danger.
I assume you take 4 piercing and 5 poison damage.
Shit.
I do not take 5 poison damage. I take
Oh,
some amount less than that.
You do.
but
You would take, I think, half that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Still, that's half my head. That's half my fucking hit points.
Yes, it
Get away
is.
from the wizard!
Zasa, it is your turn, though.
DC 13 Constitution save, Mr. Snaky Pants.
Oh, it fails.
Bye.
Ooh.
Bye?
Are you eating the
Levitate!
snake?
Okay.
What?
There's 20 feet and, okay.
What?
Okay, so this snake is now levitating, 20 feet up in the air. We'll do this for levitating. Some wiggly lines. The snake thrashes around, like, confused as it is lifted and suspended in the air. Its, like, tail is, like, wiggling down, and it's making lots of loud, angry hissing noises. All right.
Okay.
It's up there.
As much as I would like to help fight, I'm not going to. So I'm gonna back out of here and let
Understandable.
someone else fight in melee.
It's probably a good idea.
Oh, boy.
You're not really made for it, my friend. All right. Let me. It is the next snake's turn. And where's it gonna go? It's gonna go. Yeah. This one slithers up beside its friend. And it just hisses at you, Karen, but it doesn't do anything. Or actually, it's gonna move a little bit further. Yeah, it gets here. All right, that's its turn. Kai, you're up.
Alrighty then. Since the other one is levitating, I am going to hop off my lizard and we'll go here. And I am going to attack with my War Scepter.
Okay.
Should I only
Swamp.
15?
I believe that hits. Let me double check.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Woohoo! Alrighty, so I am going to roll for damage. It's pretty much always two-handed, so 12.
Okay.
And then I am also going to cast Divine Smite on top of that since I hit.
Okay.
Yeehaw. I've lost an ear.
+7.
Is this taking into account? I believe your divine smite was affected.
Oh,
I think it might be
Yeah.
half. I think it's half. So it'd
Half of
be-
that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So for anybody who hasn't been watching, Kai is currently breaking up with her former deity, and because of that, some of her abilities are being affected. Regardless, though, Kai, how would you like to do this? You still managed to kill it.
Hey, all right. So right after the snake slithers up and hits Caravan, I charge over with my War Scepter high in the air, or well, not high because I'm only 3 feet tall, but as high as it will be. And I go straight for the face because it did come low to attack Caravan.
It did, and you take it out. It falls, a big snake that's just no longer alive anymore. But you could probably make some good snakeskin boots out of it, or an entire snakeskin outfit, if that's a choice you want to make with your life. All right, Shaho.
Well, that one's dead.
And this one's flying.
And that one is flying. So I'm going to use my bonus action to Hunter's Mark it.
All right.
And I'm gonna shoot it with an arrow. It's high in the air, so we're going longbow.
Damn.
Oh, you definitely hit it. And Hunter's Mark. Do you get extra damage?
Yes.
Okay, roll that extra damage.
Wow. Okay.
All right, so you first shoot it with an arrow, and then your Hunter's Mark activates, and it flails a little bit in the air, but it's still kicking. It's looking so incredibly rough, though. These snakes just don't seem like they're much of a match for you. Caravan.
Caravan will spend half her movement to dismount. She eyes this snake flailing pathetically in the air. She's going to walk Fancy over. Is this like a bush?
Yeah, it's just like a little bush.
Just gonna loop Fancy's reins around the bush since there's not really a tree to tie him to.
Okay.
Just kind of. She still has some movement left. How high up in the air is this snaky boy?
It is
20 feet.
Yeah, 20 feet.
Caravan's gonna shrug and continue forward toward the opening.
All right, a solid.
Do you count the tying Fancy to the bush as a whole action, or?
Nah, I'd say it's pretty easy.
Okay, in that case, she will spend her other action to dash and move even closer. She just walks on up there.
Okay.
Peeks inside.
As you get close to the poison, you basically have to walk on it now, unless you're getting rid of it. So I would like you to roll me a con save.
Can I command
plants.
Komodo to go up to her and let her ride him?
You could, if Caravan doesn't climb right up in there right now. It would
I
have
feel
to be
like
on your turn.
I feel like she would just, her version of being careful about this would be to just cartoonishly tiptoe, which probably wouldn't help.
Oh,
He doesn't need help. It totally works.
You're fine. Yeah, I mean, maybe you've just been tiptoeing through a lot of poison, but you're fine.
Tiptoe through the poison.
That is exactly what I was thinking, Rain.
All right,
Back my brain
Marigold.
cell, please.
Yes. Cool. Marigold just looks up at the snake, tilts his head at it, and just looks just so disappointed. Just so disappointed. You know, I really thought you were going to be more difficult to kill. Vicious mockery. Does not need to understand me.
I
The
was
sheer
about to say,
force
it
of my dad's stare.
It can feel your dad's stare. Let me just do this wisdom save. It's not particularly wise, but it's not as unwise as it is intelligent.
Mother
oh! It isn't threatened by your dad's stare. But
Right.
it is its turn. And it's floating in the air.
Wait, bonus action healing word on Zasa.
Oh, okay. Yep, go ahead. It's floating in the air, so it really can't do anything because it can't grab onto anything. So it just kind of flails. Zasa.
6 HP to you, my friend.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Are you
Keep
gonna be
that-
good?
Keep that
No.
wizard alive.
Okay.
Keep that wizard alive.
And you burn it. It kind of you smell cooking snake, which is probably a weird smell. And it goes limp in the air. The big bad snake is defeated. They weren't really that hard. They were just probably just living in that weird cave. Which sometimes happens. All right, so we're
He
just
didn't
about
want to
done.
kill you.
We're just
Boots,
about
anyone?
done for the
Sorry.
night. But before we go, I am going to redo the description of what you see once you get into that cave. The cave mouth is large, but mostly round with ridges on the inside. There's a fork in the tunnel with 2 seemingly identical openings. No matter which path you seem to look down, it looks very similar. There's some sort of weird cave that's just covered in poison. And you can figure out what that is next week.
Could be Momo Cave, no. What are things are going to kill us?
I know, it's probably fine. There's probably nothing in there. It's probably,
Oh,
you know...
no, it's perfectly safe.
It's perfectly safe. So we're going to go around and have everybody talk a little bit about what they do. So first we'll go with Megan. What do you do?
Never start with me. I was not prepared.
You are not prepared.
I was not prepared. So I'm pretty much here right now. My main game is Steamspell over on Chromatic Chimera. We just finished our first season. Took us a little over a year to do. So we're taking a bit of a break. It's about a month off, I think. That should be picking back up here soon, but we haven't posted our calendar yet, so I'm not sure when exactly. Look for that in an upcoming Wednesday. Otherwise, I'm here hanging out with all my friends on this channel every Saturday, except for when we don't, but it's most Saturdays. So come see us next week, where Corinne and I will both be a little bit older and wiser.
Yes, we
Aw.
will.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Rune.
What, me? Oh,
Yep,
sorry, I
yep.
was wiggling my ears at myself. So I've discovered I can do this and it's fascinating. I'm sorry. Hello, I'm Rune. I'm extraordinarily distractible. I do art things, and you can find me on my Twitch channel at RuneSale. I also am part of multiple TTRPG groups around the internet, but my other streams are on hiatus, so you can find me here on Saturdays. That's it.
And then we have Hiromi.
Hi, I'm Hiromi. I am a freelance RPG writer and queer fiction author. Here is my Amazon author page and all that fun stuff. My most recent short story out is Queer 101, which is kind of a Queer 101 in a weird, abstract way. Yeah.
Very nice.
I have a bunch of books. Sorry.
You do. You have so many books. All right, Shawnee.
I am Shawnee. You can catch me doing cosplay things on my social media at Showcat Cosplay.
And they're very great, and that's why your hair's real red right now.
Yes, be on the lookout for a special set dropping next week.
It's a secret. All right, Candy.
Nice. Hi, I am Candy. I do all the things, sort of like Kai, but currently the executive producer of the Dicey Amazons channel. Tomorrow we have Tabletop Games episode 16 or something like that. But come check us out, Dicey Amazons. We're everywhere as the Dicey Amazons.
And thank you so much for joining all of us. We'll be back next week. They'll go into this weird cave. And thank you so much for all the donations. You did a great job, everybody. Everybody give yourselves a round of applause. Give us a round of applause.
Thanks, everybody.
Give everybody a round of applause. I hope you all had a fantastic time, because I know we did. And, you know, next week it'll be fine. It's not like everybody's going to die. It's awesome. So
We're all dead.
say bye. And I'll be using that
Bye.
advantage later.
Bye.
Sorry I didn't use it today.
Yeah,
Also-
we really need them next week.
Yeah.
Really
Two
appreciate
bodic
them. Thank you.
inspirations to use
We
against
desperately
me.
needed them.
Wash your hands, wear a mask.
Bye,
Yes.
everyone.
Yes.
Wash
Wear
your
a
hands.
mask.
Wear a mask. Be socially distant.
Wiggle your ears.
Wiggle your ears and be ready to party.